The podcast on Haunted Hill will contain spoilers and swearing.
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
Please help us, Michael. Be one of us.
I didn't tell you my name.
Hang up.
I didn't tell them my name.
They're all a part of it. They're all parts of it.
Come. It is time to keep your appointment.
Hello and welcome to the podcast on Haunted Hill, episode 181. Never heard that in darts because you couldn't get to that number. My name's Gav.
My name's Dan.
We are your intrepid hosts of the world of movies and everything funny that comes with it, aren't we?
We are indeed living here in our little house on Haunted Hill.
Our little bubble away from the world.
Podcast.
We have it on a hill so we can look down at the world because we are the best. We are the champions. we think we're the best. No, we don't at all. It's just it's the best place to get the spooky internet signal, wasn't it?
It is. So we are superheroes, don't forget. Gavatron and Dynamite Dan.
And we share a house, don't we, on Haunted Hill?
Yep. And we will be opening the Haunted Hill pub one day. That's been discussed by our listeners many times.
Yep.
One day that will open. But yes, this is 181. You already know what the episode is because you clicked on the thumbnail. But if you're a first-time listener, welcome front. If you're a regular, welcome back.
Thank you.
And if you're just casual listener, then just come around the side. Just pop it around the side.
Hello. Our matron.
Yeah, you already know what this is, but we are continuing on. Every now and again, we go back to a franchise as we're working our way through quite a lot of the big franchises in horror. And this time around, we're going back to Charles Lee Ray, the doll called Chucky, to pick up the next two movies in the franchise. And we will be looking at, Gav's got a lot to say on this next one, Seed of Chucky from 2004. And following on from that, The Curse of Chucky from 2013.
Cult of Chucky.
So Seed of Chucky was originally going to be called Son of Chucky.
Cult, not Curse.
No, Curse of Chucky.
Are we doing Curse?
We're doing Curse.
All right.
Cult follows on after it. Oh dear. No, we're doing Curse because Cult's after that. Seed of Chucky was originally going to be called Son of Chucky, and I think that was a better name, but Seed of Chucky is what it is. So that's what we're doing for this episode. We're excited to come back and do a little bit of Chucky, although in some ways Seed might be the weakest entry in the franchise, but we'll discuss it in the same light-hearted way we do. Other than that,
I'm just checking that I've done the right film.
It's never happened before. It could be a first here on the podcast.
It's because, do you remember when you sent it over? You sent me the wrong one, and then I did. And then I was like, okay, fine. And then I no, I think it's the one in the house. Yes,
one in the house with the girl in the wheelchair, played by.
Brilliant. I've done that then.
It's not the one in the asylum later on.
I thought it was cold. See, I don't even know if I've seen that one. Thank fuck for that. Sorry, listeners. I went silent for a little while then as the panic set in.
The colour drained out of his face.
Oh, I think I've reviewed the wrong film.
It would have been a one-man review, but it's all good. We would have made it work.
Yeah, absolutely, because I do know this film very well. So you could have done that and I could have probably still stepped in. But yes, thank fuck for that. Anyway. Right, you got back to regular programming, Gav here now. Right, okay, so fine.
He's back in the room.
Both films written and directed by the same person who is the originator of the films, which is Don Mancini. And it's really funny because one of them's shit and one of them's pretty good. So what's that all about? Maybe money, maybe producers, probably producers.
I can tell you now what happened with the Curse. Basically, Seed, they tried to follow on from the funny stuff that happened in Bride, and it didn't work. So he decided, I'm going to actually go back to what made this franchise good, which was the first one. Definitely was like really quite terrifying, and so it's the first horror Chucky in a long time. The Curse of Chucky it's really sets its roots in horror again, and there's lots of lightning and thunder, and it's set in one location in a spooky house.
Yeah, it feels like a horror film. The one before it, which we get to, but just in passing in quick notes, it's kind of like when Freddy went funny. And it's kind of exactly in that territory there where Chucky thinks he's like really funny, and it
gives vibes of like
taking away the extent of what the original film was, of the whole how creepy that film is. The first one, a serial killer has some fucking magic voodoo shit, goes into his spirit into a fucking doll, and then he terrorizes a family like in an apartment, and while the kid's getting blamed. It's, you know, that has got layers. That is brilliant. And then it gets to that point where we talk about, and it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, you know, they, like a lot of franchises that go over lots and lots of movies, they do try lots of things. You know, we recently covered Jason's, and you know, the one thing Chucky's never done so far is go to space. I mean, there's still time for that, but yeah, or like maybe gone into a different doll, not Chucky. Do you know what I mean? I haven't seen that new one, which I guess we'll be covering, the reboot. I've not seen that, and that was, people obviously didn't like the look of that one so much, but you know, it's one of those things. It was a great film. It just it was different from the original. And yes, did you need to remake it? No. But Mark Hamill doing the voice of Chucky, great.
Oh, okay. Like I said, not actually checked it out.
And some really brutal kills in it. But we are jumping ahead to a future podcast.
We are.
So we're covering Seed of Chucky and Curse of Chucky. And Gav, let's talk about what we've been up to, what we've been watching. But
may I say, in the defence of the whole Chucky series, Chucky as a doll, and the fact that the riff, I don't know of the later one, the riff's done the voice for it all, and Chucky has had a humour through the whole thing, even when before Freddy got funny period. It is still quite a fun series, really. At the end of the day, like it wasn't torturous to watch the Seed of Chucky, even though that little other doll comes into it. It's terrible. Having Chucky, a little doll runs around with a knife and says "fuck you" and all this sort of stuff is kind of funny in a way, and it has its own thing. So that, I think the whole series does have that going for it. You know,
I think the first three are probably my favourites. Bride is fun, but 1, 2, and 3 really balance humour and horror.
Yeah.
We've covered them all, obviously. You know, but 2, like ending 2 in that factory full of Chuckies is great, and number 3, when Andy's a bit older, and that paintball scene where Chucky replaces the paintball pellets with real bullets, is absolutely brutal. You know,
it's this other thing as well, the fact that you look at all the series, Halloween is serious as fuck, because even Jason, there's jokes in Jason, even Jason as himself, like he will do the odd kind of comical death type thing, even though he doesn't speak, where Michael
tilt his head, won't he, sometimes, like a mime. And
totally, where Michael on Halloween, it was just totally dead serious, and that is the series which is the most ridiculous, as in continuation, you know.
Yeah.
Out of all of them, it's just crazy, and it's funny, really. That's the most serious movie. We're so serious. Why don't you make a funny one? Michael's sort of going around going.
I still think there's something
dancing
to be
on the staircase.
Made. Mike Myers plays Michael Myers.
Shrink, exactly. As Austin Powers underneath. So it's Mike Myers as Austin Powers, but it's got the Michael Myers mask on top of it. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby, I'm gonna kill you. You know, do you want to shag me? Be like, do you want to kill me? You know, yeah, you guys shagging? Yeah, baby. Now I'm gonna dice you up.
He'd say, very shankadelic, baby.
Yeah, shankadelic.
The spy who shanked me.
Oh.
There we go. It's easy. AI.
Yeah.
We're coming for you.
I think that's
what you've been up to.
I think that's what we've got to get into when it gets that point when we can do it. I mean, you just start our own little whole AI film studio where we just make ridiculous stuff that comes out of our head. What have I been up to? Well, normal stuff. Got to give a shout out and a rest in peace to the man Ozzy Osbourne, obviously.
Yes, you mentioned him on the last episode because you'd watched some of the show.
It's like he knew.
I think he did.
He wanted to die on stage, is what it said. Crazy if he died on stage. That'd be weird. It'd be like fucking Tommy Cooper, which is really weird when you watch that. It's a bit like, my god. I'm glad he didn't. That would have been a terrible way of last views of him. But yeah, rest in peace to that man. I've been a massive Black Sabbath fan since discovering it in skateboard videos when I was about 16. I was just like, no, it's 15 maybe, and I was like, what is this song? And I was like, what the fuck is this? I found out it's this band called Black Sabbath, and I was like, what is this? But obviously this is pre-internet, so it's a case of like, whenever I was at the car boot sale, I'd pick up a Black Sabbath record, because I don't know, I was like, oh cool, great, there's no way to listen to this shit. We don't have the internet, you know. Well, we obviously go to a music shop, but I ended up picking up, I've got all the Sabbath vinyl, got some Aussie vinyl as well, and I fucking always loved the dude's music. I always loved the fact that Guy is always fucking real as well. It was never fucking nothing. It was just literally like, I'm just a dude. I like just playing music. I love entertaining
just
people.
Just a working class guy from Birmingham.
Exactly, and it's that mentality. Musicians and artists nowadays, there could be a lot of them that just don't have that mentality, and it'd be all like about ego and about Instagram likes and blah 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 blah, and stuff which isn't relevant. But Ozzy loved the fans, and the fans loved Ozzy, and he is like Prince of Darkness, and he will be missed. That gig was fantastic. It's incredible that he could do that. He even it's like 2 weeks before he dies, and he sounded great.
Yeah, because it's funny. You talked about this in the last show.
I hope I can sing like that 2 weeks before I die.
You talked about this on our last episode, and it's so strange that all of a sudden, he died. You know, but
I think
he got to do the farewell tour. And I've seen somebody said these sort of shows normally happen after someone's died, and he got to see the love and the tribute and everybody while he was still alive.
Honestly,
which is beautiful, really.
It's funny. I think they're going to release that gig in cinemas.
Yeah, they're going to edit it down.
I would say go watch it, people. It's fantastic.
Since he died, I've watched a lot of it.
Yeah,
I've watched a lot of it since he died.
Watch that, because all the bands there cover a Black Sabbath song, so it's cool seeing Metallica and Slayer cover Black Sabbath, and stuff like that.
And I mentioned he's from Birmingham, which is where my wife's originally from. So her family are able to, because his coffin procession is going to be taken through Birmingham this week, so they're going to go and have a little look at that. Yeah,
I'll have to check out a funeral. I remember staying up very late and watching it. It was in LA, watching Lemmy's funeral, and they played it live on TV, and that was just quite crazy, because obviously seeing all the people that are there as well, like the musicians and stuff like that. It'd be crazy watching the funeral.
Yeah, I remember watching Michael Jackson's funeral. I also remember watching Diana's, Lady Di's funeral, because it was just on everywhere at the time. But yes, Ozzy Osbourne, rest in peace, the Prince of Darkness, arguably one of the first bands to sort of really come up with that heavy metal sound. Also, though, Gav, another 80s icon in some ways, man who was often wearing spandex and throwing people around. He dabbled in films sometimes. He was known for his blonde moustache and his big 24-inch pythons. And I'm talking about Hulk Hogan. He also passed away.
I was about to go, man, that's the wrong one.
Yeah, that's macho. But he's there together again now. But yeah, Hulk Hogan, he wasn't in a very good way. And he's put his body through absolute hell. We know that even though it's not real, sorry to break this to you, listeners, wrestling isn't real.
Regardless, people still get injured. There's absolutely no. I saw one the other day. It's amateur wrestling. This dude jumps off this thing, lands down, and the guy goes to get out of his way, and the table's supposed to stay there, and he lands on the table to fold it. The guy does this, so the table goes up, so the edge of the table, and the guy's gut goes onto the edge of the table, and they're all like, "Oh my god,
broken, maybe."
That's proper fucking your stomach up. That would fuck you up bad. Yeah, that's so fucking bad.
Hulk Hogan, I was big into WWF as it was back in the sort of 80s and early 90s. I was big into it in the 80s, collecting the stickers and watching it with my friends, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble and all that.
I'd say 80, 86, 87, 88. I was probably watching WWF and I loved it. Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan. That's like, I think.
Ultimate Warrior was my favourite out of them all, but I loved Hulk Hogan was another character.
When the Undertaker,
Roddy
because the
Piper.
Undertaker came into it, I kind of got out of it after the Undertaker came into it. But yeah, for a few years I really enjoyed it. Watching it was quite a fun thing to do.
I got back into wrestling in the 90s when my little brother, who's 8 years younger than me, he got into it around the SmackDown time when you had Stone Cold, The Rock, and The Undertaker. So I kind of got back into it a little bit.
Yeah, because a lot of it's on Netflix nowadays, I think.
Yeah, it is.
I've not seen a wrestling match probably since I was 12 or whatever, but
I don't watch much of it now. But yeah, and also, for anyone who was a fan of The Cosby Show, Malcolm Jamal Warner also passed away. 3 celebrity deaths. He played Theo in The Cosby Show.
I wasn't sure who he was.
Very sadly drowned on holiday, which is, he's only 54, I think he was. So, yeah, I was a big fan of the Cosby Show back in the day. It was quite a groundbreaking show in some ways.
I hate saying that name.
Yeah,
it's a shame. Can't we just call it The Show? And me and Dan just talking, and I was like, isn't he released? And we looked up, and he was released 4 years ago. And it's like, why? He was drugging and raping people. Why is he wandering around? I don't care how old he is. Rotten hell, you piece of shit.
Yeah, well, let's talk about something fun, Gav, because we've both watched an Adam Sandler film which hit Netflix this week, and we both really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. It's Happy Gilmore 2, very quickly. I enjoyed it because it took me really back to a simpler time. I think it reminded me of like the original Happy Gilmore when life was a lot simpler. We didn't really have the internet. We did, but it's in very, very early stages. And life was a way simpler place.
Life was a bit sillier, Gav.
Life was sillier. Serious. Nobody really cared so much. You could have a joke and no one is.
There's an opening scene in Happy Gilmore 2, which I won't spoil because it's brand new, which I couldn't believe they did. The opening, the reason for him giving up golf and becoming a drinker.
Yeah.
And I was shocked they did that. And there were some brilliant jokes in it. Yeah. Well, I was like, wow, okay, that's how they're going to do this. But it was a real love letter to, arguably, in my opinion anyway, his best film. Back to, like you said, sillier, less serious times. But it was also really funny and did a lot of sort of remember this joke, but in a really clever way. And I love Adam Sandler, and I just was...
Yeah,
I love Happy Gilmore, and Happy Gilmore 2 did everything I wanted it to do, really. You know?
I've always been a fan of the dude. I know he's Marmite. I know, like Sarah doesn't like him. But I watched a few things of him with Elijah recently. I was like, I'll tell you what, Elijah, this would be a good one for me and you to watch. Let's watch Big Daddy, because it'd just been me and my son. And that was like quite a good film to watch. And Elijah had some gags in it, and can my boy use the toilet? No. Okay, there's a stand here and piss up against the wall right next to the restaurant, and it's a fun film, and I think that sort of humour goes across really well, because Adam Sandler is not slapstick. Well, he is a little. It's a mixture of that and
obscure humour, really. I forgot how many obscure jokes there are. Like the lady in the first one who falls out and goes, Mister, get me out of here.
Mister guy. Yeah.
And she was in it, and you got all these people that are in it.
Quite nice, because they went back to, obviously studied it and go, okay, we've got to do this one out of here. Just go on back, watch the original and go, okay, let's do this one. Let's put that person in. But they've done it without being too forced. That's a lot of problems with films nowadays. Like, luckily, the new Beverly Hills Cop one, I enjoyed that.
This is on a par with that.
Yeah, very good. I thought of that film when I was watching this, because I was like, that was also a well-made sequel which wasn't forced, and there's no agenda, and they're both Netflix produced as well.
Yeah, I was really, really happy with that, because Adam Sandler's Netflix stuff hasn't been that great, apart from Hubie Halloween, which we both absolutely love and have covered on the show.
I was chatting to one of our patrons yesterday and said that you should check out Hubie Halloween.
And it was funny to see Steve Buscemi back in Happy Gilmore 2 as well, talking of Hubie Halloween. So yeah, highly recommend that if you're an Adam Sandler fan. If you're not, then stay far away from it, because if you hate Adam Sandler, Happy Gilmore 2 isn't going to win you over.
No, if you hate someone who's the star of the film, just don't watch the film. It's probably best.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're not. I'm sure they're looking at the thing going, "I'm not going to. You don't need to tell me this." All right. I'm having an argument with an invisible guest who doesn't exist. Go for it.
A couple of other movies I've watched. I'll save my cinema trip till the end, but I also...
I don't know what I've seen. I'll bet check.
I know you watched it, and I was a bit later than you to watch Jules at 50 on Netflix.
Yeah.
On Disney Plus, sorry. And that was fun. Nothing I didn't already know, but really made me want to go and visit Martha's Vineyard at some point, I think.
I also want to go there, so should we do it?
Maybe when the kids are a bit older and
We
we're
could
like
do
in
it
our
together.
60s, we could go there on a little holiday together.
All right, let's do that now. We've got to do it, yeah?
Yeah, all right. I'd love
Great.
that.
I think let's have a little holiday.
But yeah, it's fun. And I guess the one thing I got out of it was just how hard it was to make and how much Spielberg struggled, really. And he had PTSD for years after making it, from how hard it was. But what a thing to make, arguably the greatest film of all time. It's just... It invented the term less is more, all of the stuff about it was just incredible. And it's a very honest documentary because it really talks about everything on there. It even talks about all the alcoholism that was happening on set, the arguments, how hard it was to make. But great documentary if you love Jules. There's another one on there I'd highly recommend called Music by John Williams. Similar. It's all about John Williams' career. It's on Disney Plus
good.
as well.
I'm a fan of the man, so...
Yeah, exactly.
And I write music, so I appreciate what you're saying.
Check that one out too. What have you watched? Have you found out anything you've watched?
Well, we haven't recorded. It wasn't long ago we recorded, but I did watch with Date. It's not horror. I did watch with my middle child American Pie 3, which we laughed at, which was fine. It's probably the most forgetful.
Is that the one where he eats shit?
Yep.
He eats dog shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much the most forgetful one, I'd say. But it's fine. Watch that. I'll tell you what, I did watch the new South Park. I've never really been a massive South Park fan. I just it's the animation. I feel I always I was a massive Simpsons fan, but nowadays I'm very much a Family Guy person. But I appreciate the animation, and the South Park animations, I don't know, it never really stuck with me as I wanted to watch, but it was fine because the humour was actually pretty good and what they say is pretty good. And they've always been very, very well, the makers went to the Oscars on acid. That's what all you need to know. That's who's writing the show. And they went literally to the Oscars on acid, and imagine that just sitting there fucks out your face. Anyway, the latest episode, and they haven't made an episode for a while apparently, and they only write them like a week before, because obviously they've got the animation. It's always sorted. You just have to put the rest to, because it is simpler animation, I presume. I don't know. It's still going to take a while. It'll still take a lot of people.
Now it's all in the computers.
It'd be very easy. Yeah, all programmed in. They did one about Trump, basically, and he's just talking, but he's in bed with Satan, and he's like, come on, want some? And he's saying, I don't know, you're in Epstein list, it's a bit weird, and all this sort of stuff. And then just at the end, the town of South Park wanted to sue Trump. True Counter sues them for lots more money, and they're like, oh no, we're like, okay, we could do this, and they're like, we're gonna have to go pro-Trump. Right at the end of the episode, they've used AI to make a pro-Trump campaign video, and it's Trump walking through the desert. I've been your president, the man to look after you, and he's taking his clothes off because he's so hot as he walks along. Gets to the point he's totally naked on the floor, like all fours, and he falls over, and his dick just looks up, and his dick says, "Yeah, vote Donald Trump," and he just gets up, and goes, "Yeah," and just carries on walking. And it's with AI. So, and they've made him a lot fatter than he is as well. And it's just like, wow. And I love the fact that Paramount spent $1.5 billion acquiring the whole of South Park, everything from now on and everything they've done. $1.5 billion. And the first thing they do is that.
It's about 30 years old now, isn't it?
$1.5 billion.
I know.
That is insanity, but to be fair, I think they, I took out a subscription again, and I've watched the episode. Then Daisy's like, "Can I watch the episode with my friends?" Yeah. They're probably done all right with it, But yeah, that is insane. But yeah, it's funny, and they make it a week before, so they're going to release them each week. So I'm like, it's right now in the world, like we're just speaking about, with the fact that it's nice going back to a simpler time of humour and stuff. It's right now in the world, we need something like South Park, or something which just goes, I don't really care if a red light's going to be shining through a window on my head. I'm still going to say it. So yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, I haven't checked that episode out yet. I haven't watched South Park for a long time. But
no, I haven't either. But I really enjoyed it, so I'm going to wait for next week, because I'm like, great, what are they going to do? You know,
it's intimidating if you've never seen it. I've seen the first 3 or 4 seasons many years ago, and I picked up basically whenever there's an episode like the Kanye episode or whatever, you know, I'll watch that, but I don't tune in every week.
No, it's like most of these things. Well, I know Family Guy and Simpsons are both into, like, I think Family Guy's like season 27, 28 or something. No, Family Guy is, and Simpsons is probably like 33 or something. I don't know. So it's a lot if you had never got into it, you know. Yeah,
but luckily with streaming, you can sit and binge these things.
Dip in and out or binge, yeah.
As I've done with The Simpsons, you know, as you know, last October I watched all the Treehouse of Horrors, and that was great. And
you could always just fucking Google the best 20 episodes of Simpsons all time, and just go and watch them, because like some of the earlier ones, some of the stuff is fucking hilarious. Like some of the early stuff, but before there was a lot of stuff, and in a simpler time, it was really funny shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, find some stuff if you haven't seen it. Some good stuff. But nowadays it's like, I watched the new season's on recently, and I watched an episode, and I think I stopped it halfway through, and I was like, fuck it, watch some Family Guy. Just didn't, you know, appeal to me like it did when I was younger.
Well, I've got 2 more movies to quickly mention. One of them is an older one from 2016. It's a Mel Gibson film, which I know you've seen, called Bloodfather, which I didn't expect.
I watched it again recently. I watched it again about 2-3 months. No, about 2 months ago.
Totally blew me away. He's basically Riggs in it. He basically is like an older, like grumpier Martin Riggs. He plays an ex sort of Hell's Angel almost, who went to prison for 9 years, kept his mouth shut.
Yeah.
When he came out, he just lives in a trailer and is a tattoo artist in a trailer, and he's got a 17-year-old daughter who accidentally, well, she thinks she's killed her boyfriend, who happens to be the son of a mob boss.
She'd ran away and hadn't got hold of him for a few years, yeah.
So he has to protect her at all costs, and it really is Mel Gibson doing what Mel Gibson does best, like almost like in The Fat Man, really, as well, when he just... We love it, much like Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler is at his best when he's angry and shouting at people and getting all crazy. And Mel Gibson, there's a fight scene towards the end of Bloodfather in a car with him and like 4 guys, just them in a car, and he's biting their ears off, biting their throats out, headbutting them, and you're just like, go Mel, go!
Yeah, Michael Parks is in it as well.
Yeah, he's quite terrible.
Who runs a kind of neo-Nazi thing, so you kind of got that American History X kind of like of compound sort of thing going on, and he used to be Mel Gibson used to run in those circles as well, so it's got layers. It's a decent film if you've not seen it, for sure.
Yeah, really, really good. My last film, though, to recommend for sure, perhaps not to you, Gav, is I did another cinema trip and I went to watch The Fantastic Four: The First Steps.
Is that Marvel?
Yes, it is, yeah. It's more standalone in some ways because it's set in a separate universe. It's set in the 60s, but in a different universe where the wars never happened, and almost like Kubrick's 60s. When you watch like films that are set in the 40s and 50s, films made in the 40s and 50s, what they thought the future might be like. This is that in the 60s. There's like hover cars. It's like the Jetsons, that kind of thing. And it was incredible performances from the 4 main cast members, because the problem with the Fantastic Four that they've never quite got right until this film is they are a family, and it's never quite felt like that. It's always been like the Mr. Fantastic show, or the Jessica Alba's in it, great. But this one, all 4 family members get their chance to... They're all scientists, and they all get their chance to sort of be heroes and work things out. There's a terrifying villain in it, played by our friend Ralph Ineson. You know, the guy with a very deep voice he's in Black Phillip, the Witch.
Yeah,
he plays Galactus, who is like a planet-eating monster. who everyone will know from the comics if you're into the Marvel stuff. And yes, it does set some stuff up for the next few Marvel films, but it also doesn't really. Incredible stuff. Really, really enjoyed it. And I've been to the cinema 3 times now this summer to see the 3 films I definitely wanted to see. And on my ranking is Fantastic Four at number 1, Jurassic World Rebirth at number 2, and Superman at number 3. That's not to say Superman isn't a good film. That's the order I enjoyed them the most in. Fantastic Four was definitely my favourite out of all of them. I knew it kind of would be, really, but highly recommend that to anyone who is thinking about going to see it. You won't be disappointed. It's fantastic.
The main thing is you went to the cinema and you had a good time. That's the main thing.
I really did. But let me tell you about the crazy woman that was in there. Oh boy, Jack. I was going to call you Jack then.
You did call me Jack.
Yeah, well, I call Jack Gav quite a lot as well. It's because it's a very short name, and I love you both very much. So I got into the cinema early because
Can I get you dressed, Gav?
So I got to the cinema quite early because my wife was like, I'll deal with kids' bedtime, da-da-da-da-da. We've got twins, for anyone who doesn't know, so it's all very sort of, you have to juggle a lot of things. So I got there, and I was like the second person in there. I booked my seat. Obviously, you have to book a seat these days. Sat down, and then a few more people came in, probably about a dozen people. It was it was a full house, because it was opening day. But it was 7 p.m. So anyway, there was about a dozen people in there at this point, and this woman walks in, a real Karen. And she's there with her 2 boys who are probably like 14 and 16. And they've got the end row on the same row as me. And I'm in the middle, smack bang in the middle. There's a few people just up from me, but there's a couple of spare seats on either side of me. Anyway, she walks in and says, I don't want to sit on the end. And they're like, well, Mum, you booked these seats. And they're like, she's like, well, that doesn't matter. Oh, I didn't think you had to sit in them. And they're like, well, it doesn't matter, Mum, but just sit down. Like, we're going to enjoy it anyway. We've got all these suites. They were like talking sense, you know. She's like, well, I'll just wait until the film starts, then we'll just move somewhere else. And I thought, well, good luck, because it's probably going to be packed, which it was. There wasn't a spare seat in the whole cinema. Anyway, after a couple of minutes of her bitching and moaning, I was sat there with my baseball cap on, my new baseball cap, Gav, which I'm still rocking all these days later. Good. And I heard, excuse me. And I thought, I didn't really acknowledge it, first of all, because I was looking at my phone. I was waiting for the traders to start eating my sweets. And then I thought, oh, if you're talking to me, and then I heard, excuse me, you in the cap, in the baseball cap. And I looked around and I went, oh, hi. And she said, are you on your own? And I was a bit taken aback. I thought, what a strange question. But I said, yes, I am. And she went, great. Can we swap, please? And I said, oh, well, no, because I've booked, my seat and I'm in the middle of the row. And she was like, oh, but I don't like sitting on the end. So I just thought we could swap.
What, hang on. So you don't like sitting on the end. So I, who you don't know, should sit on the end, which I might not like, yeah? You want me to do that, yeah? Like, shut the fuck up, woman. That's what I'd have said.
So I just said, no, it's all right, thanks. I booked this one. And she got all, and her kids said to her, Mum, for God's sake, you have to book your seats. Everyone's booked their seats. Like, just sit down. She went, like I said, I'll move when the film starts. Well, anyway, I was very happy to see there wasn't a spare seat in the whole cinema.
Shove a hot dog down her throat, for fuck's sake.
Because it was opening day. But she was sort of grumpy all the way through. And then, at the end, as we were all waiting, because you stayed till after the credits, obviously, with the Marvel film, and we watched the little scene at the end.
Sorry to interrupt you, very quickly, I watched a movie in the cinema. It was a Jurassic Park, whatever the new one, whatever it's called, dinosaur movie that came out. Charlie, who's my oldest, who's autistic, is like, right, we're staying till the end. There's going to be a thing at the end. I said, I don't know, I don't think so. It probably isn't. And it's like, no, we're going to do that. And everyone's kind of getting annoyed because they wanted to go. But Charlie, being autistic, is like, no, and sat in a seat down, ran around the front, and just sat there. Right to the end, and there wasn't anything. Sorry, carry on. Wasn't. Bloody Marvel, wasting my fucking time. Carry on.
So I got up to leave, and she was kind of really getting in my way. She wouldn't get her legs out of the way. Then she wouldn't. So I just thought, I'm in no rush because it's my night off from the kids. And I could tell that she was only doing it because she was wound up that I wouldn't swap with her earlier on. But anyway, Pathetic. What a psycho.
Pathetic.
What a psycho. And that's why I try not to go to the cinema other than very early in the morning on my own.
How old are the kids?
They're like 14 and 16. They're in their late teens.
I love the fact that they are like better than her as a human.
Yeah. They were like, just sit down. You book
I'm
the
so
seats,
happy
Mum.
they weren't with her and they've learned from her, like, you're a twat. I'm
So
not going
that's
to be
my
you.
that's my cinema experience. Looping back around to Jules for our final subject before we get into our Chucky films, we've got a joint friend and one of our patrons, but he's also a very close friend of ours, RJ McCready. Now, RJ McCready, me and him used to do a podcast a long time ago, and he's done a couple of other podcasts, and he's really into movies, and he's also incredible with his hands.
Oh, I know.
And he is...
I don't know. Well,
his
I do.
hobby, one of his many hobbies is prop making.
Yes.
Just for himself, mainly.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to quickly give you a shout out, RJ. I think you're incredible at what you do, and the fact you just do it as a hobby for yourself.
He does it
for
for
the most
fun.
part.
He does it because it's the enjoyment of it. Absolutely, yeah.
But the reason I bring this up is, and Gav's privy to this as well, is one of his friends is having a special birthday soon, one of RJ's friends. And he sent me, a few weeks ago, he sent me a picture of a blue barrel and said, can you guess what I'm making my buddy for his birthday? And I said, no, what is it? And it turns out, through lots of photos, which Gav's now seen as well, he's recreated one of the yellow barrels from the end of Jules, even with a tracker on it, and it's made it distressed. It's all painted yellow. It's got distressing all over it, ropes, and a tracker attached to it. And that's the gift he's giving his buddy. So that's pretty incredible, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I want one in my flat.
I knew you would. Well, I just wanted to also mention a couple of other things he's made over the last few years, because people probably don't know this about him.
Very quickly, I said to him, we're thinking of making this movie, and all I had really is, I did have a script for it, and I was like, I'm hoping to make this movie. Then the way it is with Deadbolt Films is the company has ADHD, stays on the film for 3 months and goes, no, let's do this other movie. We seem to be doing this weird thing at the moment. We actually have a slight direction. Anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. And I said, we could do this movie. It's a period piece, probably like set in 1900s. And I said, no, we do need a rifle. Can you make a rifle? And he made the rifle. The movie's never personally got any further, but he made the rifle first, what we needed. It's like, wow.
Yeah, he's got in his little man cave, his attic, he's got all of his things sort of up on the wall and little shelves and stuff. He's recently, some of the things he's made recently and over the last few years, just to sort of reel them off, he's made, the game Doom. The game Doom. Yeah. He's made the helmet from Doom.
Oh, nice.
Really, really cool. He's made Punisher's
that's cool.
bulletproof vest.
Yeah, that was cool.
With a skull on it. I don't know if you've seen this, he's done the Marines from Aliens, complete space armour with...
RJ, you know what you should do?
Look at this.
That's amazing. Everything. What you need to do is be the bloody cosplay maker for people. That's really
he's
cool.
made some cosplay for some people.
Yeah, you could definitely... People would pay you to make their costumes. Absolutely.
He made Captain America's World War helmet and goggles, like he wears back in the old days as well. He's done that. He's made the flamethrower from The Thing. He recreated that.
That's so good.
If the police ever came around his house, they'd be like, "What the fuck have you got?" He's made the seat from the ship in Alien. That's just his chair.
That's
just
so
sit on there. The Nostromo. That's it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Obviously, the chessboard from
good.
Star Wars, Millennium Falcon, and Ash's shotgun and chainsaw, as well as the glaive. The movie Kroll. The sort of spinning disc ninja star thing.
Yeah.
He's made that as well, and countless other things which I can't even list off now. So I always get excited when he sends me projects he's working on. He's the sort of guy who'll buy like a model kit and be like, I'm going to make this weekend, and he'll just recreate this thing,
RJ, it's my 50th, because you came to my 40th, my 50th in 2 years. So just letting you know now, again, it is going to be fancy dress. So start getting your costume ready.
It will turn up as RoboCop.
Please be RoboCop
suit.
That would be incredible.
Well, I've said to him, I would like something one day from him. But I don't know what, like He-Man's sword. I don't know. It could be anything. But the glaive from Crow is one that I love because I've always loved that weapon. So yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to give our buddy RJ a shout out.
I look forward to my 50th because I don't drink anymore, and my 40th is a blur with about 4 photos.
Yeah, that was a bit of a messy night, wasn't it? I was drinking back then as well.
Really messy night.
A lot happened that night.
In fact, they had 2 toilets going on. I'm just going to say this right now. You had 2 toilets going on. At one point, one toilet has someone puking up so you can't use it. The other toilet has someone having anal sex in it. And I know that for a fact. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I wasn't going to mention that story, but...
yeah, it doesn't matter because I'm not saying the names. But, like, what the hell was going on at that place? And I was DJing and I don't remember any of it. That's just... Well, I DJed for a bit, not for long.
This wasn't even in someone's house. This was out, wasn't it? We had
this was a club, yeah. Play bar. Club.
But anything that could have happened that night happened, I think.
That was a messy night.
You were dressed up
bar.
as... who were you dressed up as?
I was RJ McCready.
You were RJ McCready, and RJ McCready was dressed up as Snake Plissken, I think.
To confuse everybody, yeah.
And I was dressed as Rick, Sheriff Rick from The Walking Dead.
No, RJ was RJ. I think me and RJ were both RJ.
I thought he was Snake Plissken for some reason.
No, he was RJ and I was RJ, but he was better than mine, I think. Yeah.
Mark was Teen Wolf. We had everyone there. Everyone was dressed up.
But I don't remember much, or any, actually, of it.
My wife was dressed up as Wednesday Addams, and there was another girl dressed as Wednesday Addams as well.
Yeah, there was a Chucky.
There was a Chucky,
and the bride of Chucky.
That's right.
Which was so. It was like, what is going on? But yeah, I'm gonna do it again in 2 years.
Well, that's what we've been watching. That's who's died. That's what RJ McCready's been making, and that's where we're at. Oh, it was my 6th wedding anniversary the other day.
Happy wedding anniversary.
Which is traditionally you give each other a gift of iron. And my wife beat me. We always say who's got the better present, and I gave her a little bowl made of iron that had a little engraving inside of it. It's like a bowl you put your keys in or something, you know. And she got me a 3-foot by 2-foot canvas of the 1960s artwork comic strip of Iron Man.
Very good.
Which she said I'm allowed to put up, which I put up on my bedroom wall.
I reckon Sarah and I would probably give each other weights, dumbbells or something.
Well, it'd have to be made of iron.
Yeah, old school. Bump it, Iron Man.
Well,
so we get on with the episode.
Yeah, talking of pumping, here comes the seed.
Oh, God.
The opening credits.
I've got questions. I have questions for this film.
All right, well, let's have a trailer for Seed of Chucky from 2004.
Claudia, told you not to leave your toys lying about.
Good God, you are hideous.
The last time, he took a bride. But this time, in order to become the parents of a human baby, they'll need just the right woman. Jennifer Tilly.
Production is underway on the new horror flick, Chucky Goes Psycho.
You know, I should have played Aaron Brockovich. I could have done it without the Wonder Bra. In Planned Parenthood, timing is everything, so you'll have to hurry. That shouldn't be a problem for you.
This fall, Chucky's back, and he's delivering us some evil. Come to Papa.
What the hell is going on in here?
She came on to me.
No wonder her career's in trouble.
Seed of Chucky.
That's my boy.
Oh, God bless the little people.
This November, get a load of Chucky.
So, Seed of Chucky from 2004. Rated R for pirates. The joke never gets old on this podcast.
No.
Chucky and Tiffany are resurrected by their innocent, gender-confused child, Glenn/Glenda, and they hit Hollywood, where a movie depicting the killer doll's murder spree is underway. Directed and written, as you said earlier, by Don Mancini. So this is sort of trying to recreate that Bride of Chucky energy, which is where the franchise really, a lot of people really, that's where they found Chucky, really, because that was a silly film directed by that Hong Kong director whose name escapes me right now, Ronnie Wu, who went on to direct Freddy vs. Jason, funnily enough. And this tries to take that crazy, silly humour, and it unfortunately doesn't quite deliver. It's almost too weird for its own good. We've got Brad Dourif returning, obviously. Jennifer Tilly returning, which is great. We've got Hannah from S Club 7 in this. We've got Redman as Redman. And Billy Boyd, one of the Hobbits, plays the voice of Glenn/Glenda, the transgender doll. We also have Jason Fleming, who said it was the worst experience of his life in one scene in this. And it's just a very random film. Gav, sorry, I'll cut you off there. What are your initial thoughts before we dive deep into the seed of Chucky?
Well, there's something else going on here with the film. In 1953, we had Glenn or Glenda, which was Ed Wood's film, where Ed Wood himself, and behind closed doors, liked to dress in ladies' clothing, and then made a film about it. And this obviously is playing on that, and the fact that you've got John Waters, who, you know, John Waters does some quite quirky stuff out there on the fringe, you know. It's funny that he's in that too. I presume that he was attracted to the fact that they had this doll and it was Glenn or Glenda, and they were going with that route, which is a nod to Ed Wood. So I think he probably came on board for that reason. I think.
Well, he actually spoke to Don Mancini and said, "I'm a big fan of the Chucky movies," and they were like, "Oh, well, we can get you in." It was just coincidence. Obviously, he was well into that Glenn Glenda thing, but it was a coincidence that they brought him in for. They actually wrote the role in this for him specifically. They added him into it.
I didn't check the trivia on this, so you can keep me up on that. That's good. You know, I think, and it's written and directed by, like I said earlier, Don, who did the original, and didn't write the original though. That was Tom Holland, who did Fright Night. Yeah. Did Tom Holland direct the original as well?
Yes, he directed the original.
Right, of course he did.
Don Mancini
took over the reign afterwards, didn't he?
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the movie after is a lot better, but more times had with it. But I don't know if it's more like you know, with studio pictures, what's going around at the time or a couple of years previously kind of influences, and obviously the box office takings influences what's coming out, and it still happens with stuff like this, especially with this. This is a weird one though. I don't know. It's funny that John Walker came in, but just because he's a fan of Chucky, but I expect John Walker's probably like, oh, that's a shit movie in the end, probably that's a shame that I was in there. I don't know, it kind of almost goes with John Walker's sensibilities a bit. It's a bit of a weird, quirky comedy type film rather than a straight up horror movie, where the next film's a straight up horror movie.
Yeah.
And very quickly, sorry, just to say, my overall opinion is I don't like the film. I think, from what I said earlier, it's when Freddy got funny. It's that period, and I just don't like it. Where the next film is more me. It's more about my bag in horror, spooky house, thunder, rainstorm, someone stuck in a situation. That's right up my street. But that's just my opinion as this one host on the podcast. I'm sure one of our listeners is like, I fucking love that movie, but I don't like that other one because everyone likes something different.
Yeah, and I think, look, you're right. Every movie's got somebody out there that says it's their favourite movie in the whole world. But I think Chucky fans collectively consider Seed to be probably the weakest entry.
Yeah.
It is almost too crazy. Now, there's a few things to consider here before we get into the film. This is riding the coattails of Scream, so it's very meta. because you've got Jennifer Tilly playing herself. Obviously, she also voices Tiffany, but she's playing herself in this as an actress who's willing to sleep with Redman in this case, or whoever, to get the role that she needs. You've got Jason Fleming briefly. Well, that was originally going to be Quentin Tarantino, but he didn't really want to be in it. Once he read the script, he was like, "No, I don't want to be in this as myself." Like Quentin Tarantino. Like
when Quentin said no. Like if Quentin was already like possibly, if it's, I don't know, it might not have been at all, but maybe if it's like, oh, at least if he's reading it, that means he's like going like, oh, I'll give that maybe, and if he says no, then let's have a little look at that script again.
It's very strange to get Redman, who has done some comedy films. My favourite rapper of all time.
I wouldn't go if I had to. Sorry, very quickly again. I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt you, but I can't. It's the ADHD in me. I hate the fact that you don't. You're like, right, Quentin Tarantino. Imagine From Dusk Till Dawn with fucking Redman instead of Quentin Tarantino. Why Redman? He's like completely not.
What I want to know is what list are they looking at? Where the top of the list is Quentin, and then number
Next
2.
is
If
Redman.
he says no, Redman.
It must have just been happenstance, or just a chance that they happened to get him, or it's just like he walked in the room like, "Do you want to be in this movie?" Yeah, all right.
I think my personal opinion is they were saved by that because the budget for this film is really all on the effects of Chucky, Tiffany, and Glenda. Everybody else in it is, apart from a few cameos like Jason Fleming in that, Jennifer Tilly and Brad Dourif probably would have got the most paycheck. You got Hannah, like I said, from S Club 7, which is a British pop band that was big in the 90s and early 2000s. Yeah, she's the assistant who catches on fire. And then you've got Billy Boyd voicing Glenn. Okay, maybe he would demanded a slight paycheck after the Lord of the Rings movies, but I think a lot of their money went on the dolls really, and the effects, because they are, no matter what you think, they still are mainly practical and they look great. But the other thing I wanted to mention is riding on the coattails of Scream. It's very meta, yes, that you've got people playing themselves, but also there's a film within a film. Now, we recently covered Scream 4, I think, which is where they're sort of visiting the sets, isn't it? Is it Scream 4? It is, isn't it? No, Scream 3. Which is very similar to this in some ways, because we visit the set of the Chucky Goes Psycho movie that they're making within this film, and that's how Chucky gets resurrected, because there's a Chucky doll, a prop, and a Tiffany prop that's been made, animatronics, and the souls go into them. So, it feels like they're trying to do too much. It feels like they're trying to sort of copy that Scream meta thing, continue on with being a bit funny and weird and batshit, and it does get a bit confusing at times with Jennifer Tilly, although she's really up for taking the piss out of herself, I must say.
Yeah.
And she's great. Jennifer Tilly is, she's a stunning woman, but also she's so funny. And she's fine. She probably saves it, if anything. I do like the fact it's very meta, like you're saying, like the Scream 3. I do like the fact that they did that. And at the originally watching this again, because I couldn't remember it very well, and so I watched it, I was like, I'm quite enjoying that aspect. It soon went out the window, I got to admit. Yeah. And the other thing that this film did, which, Gav, you said this the other week, is way ahead of its time, accidentally in the whole transgender sort of movement, really, because you've got a character who, he's a doll, so when they pull his pants down, there's nothing there. So the parents, Tiffany and Chucky, are debating, is he a boy, is he a girl? And he ultimately is trying to decide what he or she is, or they are. So almost in some ways ahead of its time. And I should imagine...
It is very ahead of its time.
I should imagine there aren't many horror films, especially from early, the 2000s, that have an element of that. And okay, it's maybe done in a jokey way, but...
If they'd have released this... 2018, 2019, it'd probably been more of a hit because of that aspect.
Yeah, it's
gender identity.
It's an interesting aspect to it. I'm not sure if it really works or if they were going for the sort of comedy side of it, really. But I don't know. It's a strange film.
It is a really strange one. I'm not a huge fan. But I appreciate the film for what it is and what they're trying to do, and something slightly different. I it doesn't hit for me. But
there's a lot of hits in this, and there's a lot of misses, and they're sort of alternate, really. And even the beginning of this film, if we dive into it, it starts off with very Giallo-style credits and almost a bit of a score, and you're like, oh,
I've got shit graphics and sperm.
Well, yes, because then instantly that's taken away from you. That Giallo feel is taken away from you by shit CGI graphics of sperm,
which looks so aged. It's like, unfortunately, it's the curse of computer graphics, and people use them at the time going, this looks fantastic, and at the time you're like, oh, it's not too bad. But then, unfortunately, shit ages fast with computers.
You need the budget to pull off good CGI back then.
Yeah.
And then we go back the other way, and it's like, oh, it's good again now, because then you're reminded that this follows on directly from The Bride of Chucky, where at the end she gives birth to a little creature. And this obviously is going to play a big part of this film because it's called The Seed of Chucky. Like I said, originally they were going to call it Son of Chucky, which I think is much better and is a bit more like, Son of Frankenstein, Son of Dracula kind of thing. But I don't know why they went for Seed. Really don't know. It's not a great name for it. But that is what it is. And yeah,
Spunk of Chucky.
Chucky Spunk. Chucky gets fucky.
Instead of Seed of Chucky, Spunk of Chucky. Spaff of Chucky. Jizz of Chucky.
We do see this little baby doll in Tiffany's womb, and then it zooms in on a little made in Japan on his wrist.
I've remembered what I want to say, so I got my hand up. Can I speak?
Go on then. Yeah.
Right, everybody just note down a new AI movie that Dan and I are going to produce under the Podcast on the Hill production AI film banner. I want to see the Chuckle Brothers versus Chucky.
Chuckle versus Chucky.
Hells yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, the Chuckle Brothers were a children's TV show in the 90s.
England.
They both had moustaches, and they basically would, the sort of guys that would pick up a ladder, turn around and hit the other one in the head. They were like a really low budget Laurel and Hardy.
Really, really scraped the barrel, found them on the streets in England type job, yep.
And their catchphrase was, to me, to you, to me, to you.
It's not a very good catchphrase. I couldn't remember that. I want to see those guys versus Chucky. They're just doing their fucking wash windows, whatever situation, but Chucky's there and he's after them, and Chucky keeps fucking up because they keep knocking him over by accident, or they put him on a ladder and just ping him up like a catapult, and he's into a hedge.
There's a scene where they say, to me, to you, to me, fuck you.
Yeah, and exactly. That's what I want to see. So
we kick off again, promisingly. There's a little girl who opens a present. An anonymous present that's arrived for it. And it's an ugly doll, a very ugly doll. I don't want this doll. And it's a Chucky doll.
This whole family looks fucking very privileged, doesn't they? Yes,
they do, yes. Well, they put the doll in the bin. Yeah, I don't really want this doll, it's fine. And
your toy, we don't want your toy. In the bin with it. And they are English. They're very, very English, aren't they? It seems to be. Strange. This movie has lots of English people. So I was like, was this shot at Pinewood? Why the fuck's there so many English people in this movie? Looked it up. No, it wasn't at all. I thought, you say Billy Boyd on it there, I thought it was fucking Russell Brand. I was like, Jesus. Oh my God, is Russell Brand like doing a fucking non-gendered doll, which is a fucking spawn of Chucky, which is just ridiculous. But no, it wasn't.
Luckily, it's not. It's Billy Boyd, one of the Hobbits. So later on, we do see that the doll climbs out of the
All of this is POV. This is actually pretty good. It's literally because it's the first time. Well, no, we would have probably seen it in maybe the first film as well. But we don't. You know, everyone knows POV shots. Black Christmas, original Black Christmas, Halloween's, stuff like that. We see that going up on the killer, but we're head height normal. We're at normal fucking 5'9", 5'10", 6 foot, whatever the fuck it is, height, walking along POV. This is fantastic, actually. I actually was like, oh man, this is actually crafted with a bit of tension, there's a bit of stuff going on. You can see Don knows what he's doing. Unfortunately, just needs to have the right script, I feel. And the hand goes out to the cake, picks it up, then sort of walks along, but it's lower down POV, and I thought it then starts going up the staircase, and I thought this was actually really quite good.
Yeah, it's great because it's almost like what it would be like to be Buzz Lightyear or something, you know, when the toys come alive.
Yeah.
Because as you say, he grabs a knife and he runs up the
serial
stairs.
killers. Buzz Lightyear is a serial killer. Next AI movie.
And then you see the dad come out on the landing and he's like, honey, you've left your doll out
And
here.
she is naked in the shower.
And he picks, his wife is, not his daughter.
Oh, I thought you said wife, sorry.
No, he said, honey, you've left your doll out here.
Oh,
And he picks it up.
wife, yeah.
And then, as you say, with the POV of him suddenly picking the doll up. And then he's stabbed. And then he does a bit of a Psycho recreation here because he's sort of stabbed and then falls over the banisters and we follow him all the way down to the foyer.
It's very 80s slasher here. And also, it's like that. This is okay. Chucky came out in the 80s. It was a slasher. This is good form what they're doing here, you know?
And continuing the Psycho homages, Chucky then goes back up the stairs to the mother of the family who's in the shower, as you say, having a scrub-a-dub-dub, rubbing up her boobs, soapy-dopey. And she's like, honey, what was that sound? What was that sound? And yeah, he kills her in the shower. Well, she slips over actually and breaks her neck. And we see the blood going down because he did manage a couple of stabs. And we see the blood go down the plug hole and she falls over and breaks her neck. And yeah, then he's sort of scared of his own reflection briefly. Actually, this isn't Chucky, is it? This is Glenda, sorry. Is this Glenn or Chucky? I can't remember who this is.
This isn't Chucky.
This is Glenn,
see, there's obviously the audience, like myself as well, is duped into thinking it's Chucky because we're watching a fucking Chucky movie, so we assume that is. But at one point we hear a hee, and like, what the fuck? Chucky doesn't have a fucking Michael Jackson laugh going on. What the fuck's going on? And yeah, it's pretty.
And then you see he sees his reflection in the mirror.
Looks like a fucking little small pale Helen Bonham Carter.
And he sees what he's done. He's killed 2 people. And then the little girl comes and he goes, oh my God, my mum and dad are dead. But then she just turns to the little doll and says, you killed my mum and dad. And now you're pissing your pants. And he's pissing himself. And then he wakes up and it's a nightmare. It was all a nightmare.
It was a fucking doll's nightmare. A shit-looking fucking doll's nightmare. Fuck me.
But I guess what this is trying to do is sow that seed of he's got the killer instinct in him.
It lost me here. I was like, boom, you've lost me. You fucking lost me. You had me.
He's actually a prisoner trapped in a carnival where a guy called Sykes has called him Shitface. So the doll was called Shitface, as far as he knows. And the show is called Sykes and Shitface. And Sykes gets up on stage. And
who is also English, isn't he? Oh, I'm fucking English. Because he talks really it's really over the top English.
Yeah, and well, I guess it's all set in England, isn't it? That's why. I think that's what it is, because he posts himself to America after this. And they do their performance, and there's a real punk goth audience. They're absolutely loving it. And then you hear a narration by this doll, Glenn, who says, hello, my name's Glenn, and I think I'm Japanese, judging by the tattoo on my wrist, which says Made in Japan. I don't know who my parents are. I don't really know who I am, but I'm going to find out someday. Right now, though, I'm called Shitface, and I'm a ventriloquist doll. And you're thinking, this film's been on for 10 minutes. What on earth is going on?
This film has been on for longer than it should be.
10 minutes?
Yeah. What about when do we get the fantasy flashback bit with the fucking dude from Jason Fleming, dude from Lock, Stock, 2 Smoking Barrels?
Well, it's not a fantasy flashback. This is making a film.
Sorry, movie set, yeah. That's the next bit, isn't it? Because it cuts to Hollywood after this.
So it cuts to Jason Fleming as Santa. Now, he's playing Jason Fleming.
Doing an American accent.
Yeah.
Why is he doing an American accent where everyone else, all these other people, the guy before's British accent? Maybe they went, it's too much Brit. It's supposed to, so it's easier to show. Why don't you then get a fucking American actor? It's just, this whole movie's bewildering. It really is.
Jason Fleming said it was the worst experience of his acting career. He was on set in Croatia or Prague. It was freezing cold, dressed as Santa, covered in fake blood, waiting for them to set this little Chucky animatronic up. And it took a few days of shooting. And he was like, why am I doing this? I'm Jason Fleming.
Actor whore.
Yeah. But anyway, Santa's in this graveyard and he's on the phone to his his wife saying, "I'll be home to empty my sack, ho, ho, ho," and all the sort of usual stuff. And then he realises all of the toys have come out of his sack. And one of those toys was Chucky. And Chucky attacks him. Tiff sneaks up behind him. He gets strangled with a slinky. Chucky slits his throat. He gets stabbed about 10 times. And then we realise, cut, the Chucky doll's not working properly. And it's all a film set. It's all meta.
At this point, it's totally gone screen-free.
And Jason Fleming is like, I'm going back to my trailer until you get that goddamn doll fixed.
And the effects guy goes over to sort it out, bends down, and Chucky's hand just goes bang, hits him in the nads.
Which is a reference to the Chucky doll or the Tiffany doll in Bride of Chucky. Apparently it kept going wrong and the hand kept grabbing Jennifer Tilly's boob in real life. So that's a little in-joke reference.
Oh, yeah, the guy with the remote control back there's going to watch this.
Grab one of them. And yes, the film they're making, as I said earlier, is called Chucky Goes Psycho. And, maybe that's why we had some Psycho references in Glenn's dream. I don't know. But there we go. And it's Jennifer Tilly as herself. We see her now. We meet her. And she is trying to jumpstart her career. She has Joan, played by Hannah from S Club 7, is her assistant. And they're discussing her weight. They're saying, look, Jennifer, the reason you're not getting any roles is because you put on a few pounds.
And she's a bit pissed that she's not getting it. She said, why can't I? Julia Roberts always people, I'm better than her, or whoever she says. I could be this person, I'm better than that person. And she's at a point in her career where she needs a break.
She needs something to jumpstart her career. Just like John Travolta when Pulp Fiction script landed on his desk.
She's got no fan mail and she's moan. Redman.
He hates Julia Roberts.
Redman happens to be playing Redman.
Yeah, well, we'll come to that in a minute. Joan says to her, hang on, do you know that Redman is making a film? He's written and directing a film about the Virgin Mary. You could be the one to star in that.
No. Jennifer says, I think I could be the one starring at her assistant. Looks at her. Her assistant's another British person. Looks very innocent, actually, to her. Looks at Jennifer's and like, I don't think you look that virgin type.
Yeah, and then we cut to Glenn back in England watching television, and he's watching, like an upcoming movies program, and they're like, we're making a new Chucky movie, and it's got Jennifer Tilly's in it, and it's got Chucky. Look at the doll, and Glenn sees on Chucky's wrist the Made in Japan, and he thinks, my daddy, I'm not an orphan after all.
Oh, what a fucking shit. Well, basically, this movie would be, you could actually take this weird child thing out of it and just have Chucky and Tiffany there on a Hollywood set and this whole meta thing going on. Obviously, they've taken Scream 3 and looked at that and done this. But they could have just done that and actually had those guys secretly killing on the film set and it'd be almost a murder mystery. And it's like the dolls come back to life. You can make it suspenseful like the original film. You could do that and cut this whole fucking weird Helena Bonham Carter looking fucking little pale fucking shitty doll out of the fucking film.
Yeah, and maybe throw in loads of cameos along the way, loads of nods to other horror films.
It could have been an alright movie. Tarantino had probably been like, yeah, I like that idea.
I can imagine him like killing Robert Englund, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's it. Fucking do that properly. Yeah, absolutely.
But we got this. So Glenn decides he's going to try and escape from his owner. So his owner comes in with a little rat and says, here you go. This will get you going. Have a little rat. And he manages to escape into a bin of the back of a truck. He runs off and jumps in the back of a truck, and he heads to LA
with fucking Indiana Jones flying over the fucking map. Little
I love that
animation. I was like, fuck off! Don't straight away watch it going. I wish I was watching Indiana Jones right now.
Cut back to LA, and Redman meets up with Jennifer Tilly.
Script read.
Gonna, and he's just
staring at her tits.
That's all he's doing. That's all he's doing.
That's literally all he's doing.
And he says to her, "Look, that was a really good read through of the character." She's like, "I could do."
She says, "Thank you," but what she says, she says, "Thank you, Mr. Man."
I know, she calls him Red or Mr. Man.
No,
She
first
thinks
of all,
his name is
Mr.
Red
Man,
Man.
and I was thinking it was a Mr. Man, and I was like, it's brilliant.
He says to her, look, I think you're great, but I've already got somebody else in mind for the role of the Virgin Mary, and that is Julia Roberts.
So she's flaunts her boobs and says, we should discuss this over dinner this evening. Basically, I will blow you into give me the role.
Yeah, she says, come to my house tonight for dinner and we'll discuss this further. And he's like, hell yeah! Because he's playing like an extreme version of himself.
He's basically playing Harvey Weinstein, really, isn't he?
Jennifer Tilly, arguably one of the sexiest voices ever, really. Probably her and Scarlett Johansson, very sexy voices. Or maybe Selma Hayek, that accent.
You just keep going and going, man.
Well, I'll stop there then. Sorry, I'm getting a bit hot under the collar here.
You'd be going Kevin Bacon. Ooh.
So,
Bacon's pouch.
Cut to backstage in a prop room in Hollywood, horror movie prop room, and there's a little parcel that's arrived from England. And this is Glenn. He's somehow, we don't know how, he's posted himself.
What the fuck is he? Where does he come from? How is he their spawn?
He came out of Tiffany in the end of the last movie.
What? She gave birth at the end?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember. Oh, my God. What a pod.
That was like the jump scare at the end.
Demon shit. All right, carry on.
He crawls out and he's looking around and he's a bit scared because he's like all these monster mannequins and, you know, you can see there's like a Dracula, a Gill Man and all these other things. And he's in Hollywood. We find this out. There's all these props everywhere. And then he finds a Chucky and a Tiffany doll and he's like, Mum and Dad! And he says, Mummy, Daddy, I brought the amulet that you left me. Maybe I can bring you back to life. Yeah, let's see if I can do it. So he starts quoting the words, you know, I can't remember what they are right now. And of course, they come back to life.
How does he know the words?
I don't know, Gavin.
Is it inherited when you're a fucking spawned from Chucky?
Yeah.
It's such a load of shit, Karen.
And he says, hello, I'm Shitface. And then like Chucky's like, oh, you're so ugly. What are you? And Jenna and Tiffany's like, oh my God, don't say that. He's just a poor little boy. Don't be mean to him. And he says, look, I've got a tattoo like you, Daddy. I'm your son. And Chucky's like, oh, Jesus Christ. All the way through this, he's like, I don't want to disown this little piece of shit.
It's like,
Chucky doesn't give a fuck, does he?
It's like Tropic Thunder when Ben Stiller's in the bush and he's saying that he's adopted a kid to his manager, his agent, who's all right. What's it called? Matthew McConaughey. It's his agent, and he looks at it. I love this bit. It's so good. Well done. He just looks at a picture of him with his kid, and it's just this kind of kid just looking awful, kind of big-ish with a big afro, and just looks a little cross-eyed. And he says, "Well, at least you can pick your one. I'm stuck with the one I got." It's very funny.
When Chucky realizes he's now a dad, he faints.
I'm assuming Chucky felt all right with this one as well, looking at his spawn, not knowing what it is.
But Tiffany says, come to Mummy. And she hugs Glenn. But then someone comes in.
It's like an engineer. Do some work on the effects of the dolls. Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the phone. He says, well, look, I'll get the Tiffany doll working. I just need... Yes, but these things take time. I just need a few hours. I'm going to have to take her apart, find out what bit is malfunctioning. So he picks her up and he opens the back up. But when he takes the back panel off, we see intestines and ribs, because inside these dolls are actually sort of living. So he's like, what the fuck? And behind him, with a wire, a Chucky and... Glenn's just watching, and they kill him and behead him with a piano wire, and his head flies up in the air, and this blood splatters all over them like bukkake, and they kiss, and they're Tiffany and Chucky, because they love killing people. And they're so happy.
You could say bukkake, okay.
And we get this love music playing, and Glenn watching what he thought were his parents behead a man and then kiss passionately, covered in his blood. He just pisses himself. And this is where Tiffany reveals, oh, she's just a bit scared. And Tiffany's like, what do you mean she? It's a boy. And she's like, no, it's a she. And they have this argument about it. So we cut to, well, let's see what's in his pants. They pull down his pants, and just like all the Action Mans and G.I. Joes and He-Mans, there's nothing down there because he's a toy.
But Chucky's also a toy, so how did Chucky do it then?
Yeah, but Chucky's anatomically correct. He's boasted about that in numerous films.
What? But so she is as well, obviously, if she gave birth. Yeah. But why isn't he then?
I don't know.
Fuck off with this movie, you fucking cunts.
And Chucky says, well, what is he then? And she says, well, I think we'll call you Glenn. And Tiffany says, no, we'll call you Glenda. And there's some confusion there. And then Jennifer Tilly walks into the room. And she assumes that the headless corpse on the floor is just a prop. She sees the Chucky doll, the Tiffany doll. She picks up the head of the doll and says, of the dead guy, and thinks, oh, it's just a prop. I'm going to give it a good old kiss. Meanwhile, Tiffany's like, oh my God, it's Jennifer Tilly. She's so beautiful. I want to be her. I'm going to possess her. This is where she comes up with a plan of, I'm going to possess Jennifer Tilly, which is so meta. It's fucking mental because Jennifer Tilly's doing the voice of a doll that wants to possess the real Jennifer Tilly.
Oh my God,
it's insane.
I didn't even think about that. It's just going to make me have a headache if I think any more about it.
She picks up the head, kisses it, and she realises it's real and obviously calls the cops. And the cops arrive, the next scene, and so do the reporters, and they're sort of harassing her, saying, oh my God, Jennifer Tilly, what happened? You found a head. And she gets in her limo driver's car, and the three dolls sneak out and get in the car with her.
Yeah.
And she's having a...
Because, sorry, obviously, her driver fancies her, and you can see this from the get-go. He doesn't say anything, but we can tell there's something going on there. He's really a lot more closer to her.
They kiss occasionally.
Oh, okay, yeah. And obviously got the press all outside going, well, what's going on? There's been a murder. And she's like, whoa, just gets in the car and driven away.
Yeah. And the dolls follow her. That's the important thing here. So the dolls are all drinking in the back of the limo, as you do, and they're getting to know each other. And there's quite a funny joke here where Glenn, thinking, he's Japanese because it says made in Japan, he's learned Japanese. And he speaks a little bit of Japanese to them, and he says, are you Japanese? Were you guys like ninja warriors or samurais or something? And they're like, what are you talking about? That's just where you were made. It doesn't mean you're Japanese. And Jennifer Tilly sort of playing... Oh, yeah, Jennifer Tilly says, oh, someone's playing me in a movie. And they can hear them talking. And she's like, I've got it. I've got the plan, Chucky. Tiffany says, I'll be Jennifer Tilly and you'll be Redman. And he's like, yeah, cool, all right. What the fuck? So Redman and Jennifer Tilly are going to be possessed by these two dolls. This is their plan anyway.
So a serial killer went into a doll, found another doll he fell in love with, a woman who he changed into a doll, because she was originally Jennifer Tilly, changed into doll in the movies, right? Then they've had a child doll, and now him and the other woman want to go back, so she's going to go back to Jennifer Tilly, who she came from, but he's going from serial killer to Redman. What is going on with this film? I'm going to swear lots in a minute.
Well, the plan is they're going to you're going to turn into these people, and then they're going to bang so that they can have another baby, because they're not quite satisfied, especially Chucky isn't quite satisfied with how Glenn has turned out so far.
You do see doll tits in this, which is weird.
You do.
And it's not something I've ever said before, or hopefully say again.
Jennifer Tilly is kissing her driver, and she says to the driver, look, I'm going to try and fuck Redman tonight to get this role in this film. And Tiffany in the back of the limo is like, oh my God, Jennifer Tilly is a complete slut. So, you got lots of little in-joke references, which is quite funny. They put Glenn to bed, and he's sort of, Mummy, why do you kill people? And Chucky's like, because it's a family tradition. It's a hobby. And Tiffany comes up with this epiphany. She's like, no. We shouldn't do this anymore. We should quit. Let's all quit murder. Let's quit as a family. Cold turkey. And Chucky sort of crosses his fingers behind his back and says, all right, if that's what you want, if that's what will make you happy, we'll quit murder. So, catch your breath. Hannah from S Club 7, who is Jennifer Tilly's agent.
So, I didn't realise this, but okay.
She says, "Don't go and fuck Redman. You're better than this. Come on." And she's like, "Look."
To be fair, her acting was okay. I remember actually.
She does quite a good American accent.
Sure.
She says,
I didn't think she was American. I thought she was British actually.
No, well, maybe she didn't then, but it was an American accent.
Okay.
But she says, "Don't do it." And she's like, "Look, if you don't like it, then you're fired, Joan. Get out of my house." Because Redman's here, and outside you can hear Redman playing his own music in his Humvee.
Oh my god, how bad's that? Yeah, fire, just fire it. Okay, that's such a weird thing to do, but all right.
Just trying to give her good advice. So she says, "Look, here's what we're going to do." Tiffany says, "Here's what we're going to do."
Is it? We haven't. Yeah.
We're about to get to that now.
Great.
Here's what we're going to do. Chucky, you are going to have a wank into a cup. And I'm going to use a turkey baster to impregnate Jennifer Tilly. We're going to drug Redman and her.
I bet Quentin Tarantino has got to this point where he goes, what is going on? I'm not going to be in this film, thank you.
And he says to Chucky, Chucky says to Tiff, "Well, I'll have a wank into this cup now, but I'm going to need some motivation." And this is where she flashes her doll boobs to him.
He goes into a cubicle, picks up some pornographic material. It doesn't work until he finds Fangoria. And it's like, oh, that'll do. And it's like a gore scene. I love the fact that at this point, this is though, pretty much spot on role for John Waters. John Waters is outside trying to take photos because he's a paparazzi. Because of obviously what's going on with the murder and Jennifer Tilly and stuff. So he's there trying to get photos, like perhaps do like through windows and just being a bit like people's privacy and just evading it. And he looks up and goes, "Oh my god!" Because first of all he sees Jennifer Tilly banging. He sees something going on. Her and Redman, I think, possibly, or something.
Yeah,
like
with
that.
they're sort of getting comfy on the sofa.
And he's like,
together.
"Oh, great!" And he looks up and goes, "Oh my god!" As is it a midget or dwarf? I think they might say midget.
He says something like,
and
little people are so magical. Go get it, little man. And you can see someone wanking in the window. He just assumes it's a midget.
Masturbating, amazing. He starts taking pictures, and it's
takes pictures of that.
Yeah, and it's like you're taking pictures, silhouette of a possibly a little person masturbating. It's like it's probably perfect for John Waters. But I don't know.
Now, while Redman and Jennifer Tilly are flirting, Tiffany's sneaking around, and she pours a load of sleeping pills into the champagne, so they're going to pass out later on. And Redman discusses Jennifer Tilly's career with her. He says, I thought my favourite film of yours was, what was that one called where you and the other lesbian chick get it on? And Jennifer Tilly's like, "Oh yeah, Bound. Yeah, everyone loves that one. I'm still friends with my colleague in that, actually. If you want, we could get together sometime."
Oh, I remember that movie. One called Bang. Now I remember the movie. What she's on about though, it's not called Bang.
Yeah, Bound.
Oh, it was called that, was it?
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
It's a good film. That
they're two in a house in a room, aren't they? And there's someone trying to get them or something.
They're tied up together and they're lesbians, and it's all very sexy.
Yeah.
A lot of young men probably really enjoyed that film.
Yeah,
I should imagine.
I'm sure they did.
Me being one of them. Anyway, they start kissing, that's what he says. He says, "Go get it, mini-me. You do you." That's what he sees. So I don't know if he thinks it's Vern Troyer up there having a wank, but he definitely thinks it's a little person.
Oh man.
Tiffany knocks out Redman and goes and talks to Jennifer Tilly. And Chucky walks in the room with a cup full of doll cum and says, "What do you want me to do with this?" And this is where it's all like Jennifer Tilly's like, "What the fuck is going on? There's the dolls from the film I'm in are alive in my house. One of them's got a cup full of semen asking me what I'm supposed to do with this."
And it's go on.
No, go on.
And it's just so horrible that the plan is to inseminate her. It's just horrible.
She slips over in the kitchen, and they drag both of the bodies into the foyer. And this is where they say, "God, Jennifer Tilly's fat." It's so mean to her, because she's certainly not. And they get the turkey baster, and they start getting ready to do the artificial insemination. Now, Glenn/Glenda is upstairs having more nightmares, but we'll come back to him in a moment. Chucky tells him, later on, Chucky says to him, we'll go for a boys' night out together, don't you worry about that. So while Jennifer Tilly is about to artificially inseminate, whilst Tiffany is about to artificially inseminate Jennifer Tilly, Chucky and his son, Glenn, steal Redman's car and go on a little joyride. And this is where they kill Britney Spears. Yes, this actually happens in the film.
Such a weird movie.
Now, when they put the trailer out for this film, they did have this scene in the trailer, and they did have to have a little disclosure at the end that said Britney Spears is not actually in this film, because they got a porn actress in to play a lookalike of Britney. But you got Britney driving along, and they run her off the road, and when her car explodes, Chucky turns to his son and says, "Oops, I did it again." It's like, oh, come on, Chucky, you're better than this, please. The reporter prints out the photos in the dark room, and while he's doing that... John Waters. Glenn and Chucky are in the room. And it's great, because he doesn't see them. We see them as an audience, but they're, like, hidden. And, yeah, he gets killed, basically. There's a bit of a tussle, and he falls over because of Glenn, and some sulfuric acid melts his face off. Pretty good effects, actually, for John Waters to get his face melted off. And Chucky says, "Was that you, Glenn? I'm so proud of you. I knew you had it in you. Oh, that's my boy. Yeah." And Glenn didn't mean to do it. It was an accident. And then he says, "Let's take a picture together." So they take like a Polaroid selfie of them with the body. This will come back to bite Chucky in the ass later on. Oh, it's a lot of craziness in there.
Yeah.
Jennifer Tilly and Redman wake up.
They think they
bed.
possibly had sex.
She doesn't know what's going on. Was it a dream? I don't know.
She must think it's a dream. The doll's walking around. Yeah.
He leaves, and that's that really. Tiffany is reading the 12-step program.
Oh, yeah.
Because she wants to quit murdering people. So one of the things is to ask for forgiveness. So she starts calling up people saying, "Hello there, my name's Tiffany. I'm a little doll that murdered your entire family. And when, in 10 years ago, I just wanted to say I'm really, really sorry about that." What the fuck? Imagine getting that phone call.
It's a bit bizarre, isn't it?
Jennifer Tilly gets in her limo and she starts throwing up. Morning sickness, because it's a supernatural pregnancy. So it works very, very fast.
Yep.
So she's actually had the turkey baster with the Chucky semen in her.
Oof.
Later on, Redman and Jennifer Tilly have dinner, and she says, "I think I'm pregnant, and it's yours, Redman." And he's like, "Nope, it ain't mine." And she's like,
and I can't hire you if you're pregnant. And she's like, "What?"
And he says, "It wasn't me. I had a vasectomy. As soon as I got to Hollywood, there's absolutely no way it could be mine. So try that shit with somebody else." Tiffany is so angry with the way he's speaking to her. She really wants to kill him, and she tries to fight the urge. He sees someone behind him.
Yeah.
He doesn't quite see. Go on, what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, yeah. You carry
on. So Tiffany sneaks underneath the dining room table while Jennifer Tilly's out of the room, and she stabs him in the dick and then opens up his guts. And it's not often you see steaming guts, but all of his guts fall out onto the table with steam coming off them, because I guess they are hot.
Yeah, I guess.
So Redman has now been disemboweled.
Yeah.
Wow. Jennifer Tilly leaves because she's cross with Redman. And Glenn is shocked at what he saw his mummy do. She's like, "Oh my God, Glenda, I'm so sorry. I just pretend it didn't happen." So he's now covering up all these secrets from his family. He's accidentally killed someone with his dad. He's seen his mum kill someone who's told him not to tell anybody. It's all fucking weird. He gets a wonky eye. He gets a wonky eye, and this is the birth of his other personality, who's Glenda.
Yep.
We'll find out more about her. And because it's a voodoo pregnancy, when she wakes up in the morning, Jennifer Tilly has a very big pregnant tummy.
Yeah.
She calls her agent and says, "I'm pregnant." And her agent's like, oh, how can this be? I'm very confused about all of this. And then Tiffany, there's a joke where Tiffany gets on the other line in the house. And because they both got Jennifer Tilly's voice, the agent's really confused about who's talking about who. It's all very strange.
Yeah.
They argue more about Glenn/Glenda's gender. And Glenn just can't deal with it all. He says, listen, I feel like a boy. This is the whole very progressive moment of the film. He says, I feel like a boy and I feel like a girl. Can't I just feel like both of them? And that, as we've said, is incredibly ahead of its time. He says, it's just, that's how I feel. I feel like a boy and a girl at the same time. You know, I can't imagine what that might feel like, but there's certainly millions of people out there that probably know exactly what that feels like. And Chucky says, look, I want to just carry on killing. And they argue about killing. And this is where he finds Red Man's body. It's quite a funny moment because she's found out him and Glenn have killed John Walters. And then he opens a cupboard and Red Man's body falls out and he goes, well, Tiffany, looks like you've been up to some murder as well. She calls her limo driver and yeah, it all just gets a bit confusing from here on out. The limo driver and Jennifer Tilly are tied up and gagged in a bed. So now they're going to use the limo driver instead of Red Man because, you know, Red Man's been disemboweled. They haven't got anybody to possess for Chucky. No. So now he's going to be a fucking limo driver. I'd rather be Red Man, to be fair.
Yeah.
But spitting rhymes with Method Man on stage. But they begin the spell to possess these two humans just as Hannah from S Club 7 shows up. And Chucky says, I'll go take care of her. So he catches her on fire and throws her over the banisters and she dies. And that's another one. And this is where Glenn now becomes Glenda. He's wearing Tiffany's dress. He's got makeup on. And he's gone full Norman Bates and become his mum. But called himself Glenda. And he reveals he's the one that killed Joan, not Chucky. Tiffany slaps Glenn, or Glenda, who snaps back to being Glenn. And he's like, what am I, mummy? What am I? Am I a boy? Am I a girl? Am I a murderer? It's fucking batshit crazy, this, isn't it? Yeah. This is why Tarantino didn't...
it's just nonsense. It's just nonsense.
Anyway, we're getting towards the end now. Jennifer Tilly goes into labour. And she has twins, a boy and a girl.
Mm.
Oh, great. Maybe we can possess these twins. I don't know. Yeah, let's do that then. So they start the chant again. And Glenn needs to choose. Does he want to go into the boy baby or the girl baby? Which one do you want to be? And he's like, oh, I don't know which one I want to possess. Oh, it's all very... Chucky says, I don't want to become a limo driver. I want to stay as a dolly. I want to stay a killer doll. I'm invincible. Everyone knows me. I don't want to be a human. It's bullshit. So they argue about this because this is, a late change in the plans for them. So Tiffany breaks up with him and she takes the kid and the limo driver gets stabbed and dies by Chucky. Tiffany stabs Chucky. They fight and then the cops arrive. And they find dead Red Man, dead Hannah from S Club 7, dead limo driver, 2 babies with red hair crying, and blood everywhere, and 2 little dolls.
I can't find where it is, but at some point you had another character from Lock, Stock, 2 Smoking Barrels, and it's doing an American accent. And I was like, fuck off. I can't think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it was just the one that plays Nick the Greek, I think. But I can't see him in the credits.
Ah. Well, Tiffany sneaks into the hospital where Jennifer Tilly is and spikes her drip. So she passes out and she is now going to finish the spell to possess her body. But Chucky does a here's Chucky shining move and chops through the door, tries to get to her. But Chucky axes Tiffany in the head and says, nobody leaves me. He's quite brutal, not very nice to women, but he is a serial killer. And Glenn does some Japanese karate. No, we've got a scene here just to make this even more batshit crazy. He does some karate on his dad, Chucky. I've written here, what the fuck is going on at this point? Tiffany wakes up in Jennifer Tilly's body. It worked. Yes, Jennifer Tilly, this is brilliant. Glenn chops Chucky's limbs off and his head, so he's completely dismembered his father. And cut to 5 years later. And the two little red-headed kids are at some kind of nursery, like Jennifer Tilly set up like a foster agency or something, I'm not sure. And she's got these two little kids there, Glenn and Glenda. They both got red hair. And Glenn is quite a little psycho, but so is Glenda. Tiff kills the nanny with the Tiffany. Sorry, Jennifer Tilly.
Yeah, why?
Kills the nanny. I don't know, because she's possessed, but she's still Tiffany, isn't she?
Oh, so it's
she says no. Nobody says anything bad about my kids or something like that. And Glenn, they're now real children basically. And then Glenn opens up a present, and it's Chucky's arm, which has arrived in the post for him. Jumps up to grab him, and that's the end of the film. Now, listeners, that was quite painful to listen to, I should imagine. It was quite painful to sort of go through, really, because it's so all over the place. And the problem is that they don't really follow up this plot really much in the next one. Certainly not the children too much. But I believe, and I've not seen it, in the Child's Play TV series, Chucky, which is getting loads of praise, apparently they do follow up on Glenn, Glenda, and all the sort of business around that. So I do need to check that out. We were talking about Paramount. It's available to stream on Paramount, Gav, and I've heard it's really, really good. I don't know if you've seen any episodes from the Chucky show.
No.
Apparently it's really good, so I will go and check that out and at some point and see what they do with these weird plot threads. But that Seed of Chucky, they try so many things, and unfortunately, it just doesn't really work. You're right, Jennifer Tilly saves this film. Redman's didn't need to be in it. The little Glenn Glenda thing doesn't need to be in it. They should have just done the meta thing, and that's how Chucky gets back into himself.
Yeah,
through an animatronic doll, and then carried on from there.
They're filming a Chucky movie, and Chucky comes back to life on the set, but they don't know, and it's a murder mystery. That would be great. But no,
it's really strange.
I'm giving this thumbs down, even if you are a fan of the series, and I wouldn't normally do that. If you're a fan of the series, I'm generally like, well, you should probably check it out. I wouldn't bother. It's not going to give you anything. I'd say skip it and go on to this next one. I didn't like it. I don't think I liked the last one.
This was Don Mancini's directorial debut.
Oh, was it? So, okay.
But
was he just producing the others then? He must have been.
Yeah. But this is why he wanted to direct the next one, which we'll come to after World of the Strange. But Gav, I'm with you. Listen, guys, I love being a completist. You all know about my OCD with franchises. However, skip this one.
Yeah, we're both in unison with this. Me and Dan don't always... Well, we do agree quite often. But generally don't totally be... I'm generally quite negative. Both quite negative with a film, and yeah, Dan's right.
Yeah, there are some Leprechaun films that are better than this. There aren't any Critters films that are better than this. But
oh god, I don't ever torture me by putting me in with a Critters, Leprechaun, and fucking this film. Oh my god. Anyway, please, Bill, save us.
Bill Murray, come in here. And with your little Chucky doll.
Yep.
You've dressed that up as a Chucky doll. Interesting.
He's also dressed as a Chucky doll.
And I love that.
It's weird. Bill Murray as Chucky is odd.
Oh, it's like Zombieland when he dressed up as a zombie, I guess.
I guess. Right,
Bill, take us away from Seed of Chucky and into World of the Strange, please.
Hi, welcome back to World of the Strange.
World of the Strange. World of the Strange. World of the Strange. Welcome. Thank you, Bill, for World of the Strange.
Thank you. Thanks, Bill.
Behave yourself today, please. Put that down. Put that down.
Put it down.
So, Chucky is a doll, a possessed toy.
It is.
I started thinking about possessed things, possessed inanimate objects.
Right.
And then I came across a list of the most haunted things that have ever been sold on eBay.
Okay.
eBay. I haven't used eBay for years. I used to use it all the time. It's a good little place, though.
I regularly, even today, posted out a DVD. I am using it quite often.
Okay, well, some of these objects are quite obscure. I'll start you off with the haunted bra.
Yeah.
The haunted brassiere.
Yeah.
Yes, so it was a single-used bra, white and a little bit worn, size 32A, for anyone that wants to know. But the woman selling it also claims it's filled with spiritual power.
The bra?
Yes, that she's selling on eBay, a haunted bra.
What was the size of it?
32A.
Okay.
It's a third-hand bra, apparently belonged to a dead woman who lived a life with a lot of sexy parties and lots of drugs before she met an untimely end. And the seller says, you'll want to buy this bra because her spirit is still within the bra, and anyone who wears it will inherit success and wild love making.
I want to be out and about with this lady's brassiere on.
I don't unfortunately have how much these items sold for.
Oh.
But she says if you wear the bra and place it by a red candle, you'll get access to the spirit world and the secrets of this dead woman's success in bed. There we go.
Her success in bed? What, getting laid?
But who's going on eBay and typing in haunted bras? Got any of them on there?
So
yeah, there's one.
So I can get men to bed. Or women. Or whatever.
Imagine accidentally coming across that. Just looking up bras on eBay.
It's a strange one, for sure.
How about some haunted tap shoes?
Okay.
Yeah. Simple pair of tap shoes, black leather, a red bow on them. But they were last used a very, very long time ago. A little girl named Lisa, who loved to dance. She put them on one last time, and she died wearing them.
You sound like you're saying the lyrics of a song. Little Lisa, she loved to dance. She put them on one last time, and then she died.
They sat in an old nursery closet until they were found by a real estate agent who was getting rid of everything in the house. And they realised that Lisa's spirit is still within the shoes. Because the seller this is what the seller on eBay, this is what people will do to sell an item on eBay, says that if you leave them, you will hear tapping coming from your cupboard, whichever cupboard you leave them in. They like to still dance a little bit.
Fuck off. Fuck off. What's the ghost doing? It goes, I still like to tap, 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 tap. What the fuck?
Tap it in. Tap, tap, taparoo.
What's the energy? So we're saying the energy, because generally ghosts, we're saying it's energy. We're saying the energy in all of these things.
Bras, tap shoes.
It's doing it. So the energy is still there. The shoes still know that they were used as tap shoes. So they're like bounce to tap, tap.
My only thing is, I tried my best to find out the prices that these were sold for on eBay, but I couldn't find it anywhere.
Is it like another Adam Sandler film? You know, The Cobbler. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I like that
And
one.
he becomes whoever he puts the shoes on, who owns the shoes. Does that mean, like, if you put these shoes on, all of a sudden you're just fucking, as Fred Astaire, fucking dancing down the street?
Well, they're tiny because they belong to a 9-year-old girl, so...
Well, you're
just
very
become a little girl.
painfully tiptoeing down the street, dancing and tap, 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 tap. Look at that man go with his little girl tap shoes.
You could recreate the scene in The Greasy Strangler where he just does a nice little dance down the street.
Absolutely.
Which, by the way, that is now our most popular episode in the last year.
Is that because of the Greasy Strangler, please, listeners? Let us know.
It's crazy.
Like I said, I don't know how often that movie is going to be covered by podcast. So you might just be looking for it and discover the show. And welcome if you did.
The next item that I found that was sold on eBay is one that you'll like, especially you'll like the name of it. It could be a good pub name, but it also reminds me of an incident with custard that me and you discussed a long time ago. It's called the Thirsty Donkey. And it's basically a bottle, like an ornamental bottle with a donkey attached to it, a pretend donkey, like a little one, on a shelf, that they call the Thirsty Donkey. But this is haunted, this item. So it was found in an old person's house. He says, I didn't know anything about it because it was my grandmother's and it was in her house the whole time I knew her. She always kept it full of water and I never knew why. After she passed away, I was taking care of her estate. And I bumped into it one day and I thought, hang on a minute, this is full of water still. So I emptied it out and the next day it was full of water again.
Drink it.
And it just seems to be filling up every day.
Stop your fucking water bill. It's brilliant. Cancel that shit. Look what you've got.
His grandmother never explained why she had it or where it came from. And now she's passed away, he'll never know the story behind it. But what he does say is, if you keep this in your house, it will always be full of water.
Was this selling on eBay?
Yeah.
Well, has it been returned to him?
Well, also, if you're getting it sent to you and through eBay, like the postman knocks on the door and he's like, all right, this is a bit wet, this parcel.
This bowl. It's saying this parcel is wrapped up, but it's just leaking everywhere. Exactly. When it comes to you, as soon as it turns up, you're like, it's empty. Why is there no water in it?
Now, would you drink the donkey water?
From that bowl of water?
Well, it's a bottle.
No. Would you?
Yeah, I think I'd see what was going on there. If this is like ectoplasm or something from a spirit world that's filling up this...
What if it's ghost cheers?
It could just be that in his grandma's house, there was a leak directly above it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just dripping. It could just be like toilet water.
Spirit cheers.
Could be the toilet water just dripping into it.
Could be.
Okay. Well, that was another item. Here comes another one. What about a haunted Ziploc bag?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how this works, so I'm intrigued.
The seller is called Rusty Raccoon on eBay and says, I have got these Ziploc bags that can transport anything you put in them to another dimension.
All right,
let that sit with you.
eBayer, would you be able to possibly record a video showing me the objects being transferred to another universe, please? Thank you, kind smiley face, Gav.
He says these bags have got a mystical power of reversing time. So if you put your food leftovers inside them and snacks and then seal them up, not only does it keep them fresh, it actually makes them fresher.
Fuck off!
Than the first time. So if you put like mouldy food in them in the morning, they'll be fresh as if they were just baked that moment.
How was he gonna fucking... It's obviously not gonna happen. How the fuck do you think he's gonna get away with this?
And this is just...
Is it the same eBayer with the bowl of water?
No. But this guy's selling these... I've got a price on this one. $25 per bag.
How many has he got?
He's just selling normal Ziploc bags, telling people that they reverse time.
And I presume he knows someone is going to buy one, because someone is going to buy one, and then when they say I want money back, he's just going to scarper?
He also says, this is really cruel, that if you know someone who's dying or very ill, if you cut off a lock of their hair and put it in one of these bags for 24 hours, they will be healed.
He's a cunt, isn't he?
So imagine that your grandma's dying of cancer. So you Spend $25 on the Ziploc bag. Cut off a bit of it. What are you doing? Just cutting off a bit of your hair, Granny. Pop it in here. Didn't save it, does it?
Yeah. Well, hopefully they won't have chemotherapy because they won't have any hair. So.
Well, moving on to the next item, which is a smelly photograph.
I don't know what it smells.
So this is like basically an ancient brown photo of a sharp-dressed gentleman. I've got the picture here, who's long since obviously passed away from the Victorian era. The man is apparently called Martin. That's what we know of him. And it was found in a dusty old attic. And the owner was impressed and put this on eBay, to sell it. That this photograph, he gets it out quite regularly to show guests who come in his house.
Said the bishop.
Do you want to see this photo of Martin from the Victorian era? But as time went on, with him showing off this photo, something didn't seem quite right. Or should I say, something didn't smell right. Because the photo smells, strangely, of aftershave and tobacco. Almost like the spirit of Martin is still within the photograph. So whenever you get this photo out...
It smells of the 80s, doesn't it?
Whenever you get it out, it smells of Old Spice and Marlboros.
It's fucking Old Spice and B&H. Fucking hell. That's the 80s.
Just on a side note, when you buy something off of eBay and you get, like, I've bought a lot of toys. Like, I've got the full set of the He-Man figures, which is worth quite a lot of money these days. And some of them are very rare. And when I bought them, they've been like found in someone's attic, and you get it, and it still smells like the 80s. It still smells like cigarettes and plastic, and someone's old attic full of crap. But anyway, so this photograph smells a little bit of tobacco and aftershave, and he decided, I'll pop it on eBay, see if anybody wants to buy it. So he did, and yeah, someone bought it. I don't know for how much. But again, who's going on eBay to search for smelly photographs?
Smelly photo.
It's so weird.
I don't know. That sounds like something someone might actually look up. You get weird folk out there.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Looking for wanking material, Dan. Smelly photos.
Yeah.
Ugh. Humans do weird shit. Nothing surprises me anymore.
Someone's selling a knob on eBay.
See? Exactly.
A doorknob. A doorknob.
Oh.
A doorknob that used to be on the door of an insane asylum.
Okay. Kind of cool in a way-ish, kind of, I guess. I don't know.
So, this is a doorknob from the door to an asylum, and someone put this on eBay and said it contains dark energy because it was the door of a very insane and violent person from a long time ago. So who wants to buy this doorknob?
Yep.
Like, who?
I don't know.
I remember once somebody put, we all know the singer Kylie Minogue, somebody put a bag of air on eBay and said it was Kylie Minogue's breath. And someone bought it.
Of course they fucking did.
Kylie Minogue's breath. What are you going to do with it? Breathe it in?
Well, a woman recently, she made a load of money selling her farts.
Well, Gwyneth Paltrow sells money selling her fanny candles.
That's odd. I don't like smells.
And then, if you want to, you can just you can go on eBay and search haunted dolls. And there's thousands of them on eBay. And again, who wants to buy? Oh, I know one person who would buy a haunted doll. You know her. Sarah.
Me and Sarah, yeah, absolutely. Well, I was I with Sarah? I don't know, or with the kids? I don't know. I was somewhere and I saw a doll and I was like, I don't need this doll. It's £4. I didn't buy it though. I was like, I don't need this doll. But it really looks creepy as fuck. I don't know, maybe I should buy it. I was with Sarah actually in charity shop. I didn't buy it. If it's still there, I might buy it. It's quite small, but it looked real creepy. I don't normally go dolls or whatever, but I was like, man, this one, if it's going to be a haunted one, it's this one. So yeah.
That is my list.
Well done.
Done. But talking of dolls, once I went on a hen do. Yes, a hen do. I was the only man invited because it was one of my best friends back in the day. I don't speak to her anymore. But it was me and like 12 girls, and we all went away to a country. It was near where Agatha Christie's from, actually. A country sort of cottage, huge. It had bedrooms, so many bedrooms, and there was an attic room which was also called the nursery, and no one slept up there. And the reason no one slept up there is because when we went up there was about 100 really old dolls, all just sort of arranged on these shelves. It was the creepiest thing I've ever seen. I thought, there's absolutely no way I'm staying in this room. So I stayed in a room downstairs on my own.
Fucking should have done.
No way, man. No way.
Yeah, I would have done.
No way. You were mentioning me on your podcast. So
I was
about
to say that. Yeah, we were just saying about your mother's show when we went out in the woods and then not in the woods, in a graveyard. We went ghost hunting. I got those videos somewhere. Did we put them up on the Patreon?
Yeah, our patrons have those, and they can watch those anytime they want.
Go watch me and Dan ghost hunting.
We did it twice.
Let's do it again. We probably need to do a new World of Strange. Go to that cemetery near you, because Sarah could do it as well. Because me and Sarah always like to make these little videos when we're out. We always try and do these things. We actually got a holiday in October, a week of Halloween, and we're actually going to try and go to some spooky spots.
Well, I tried videoing behind me as I came downstairs the other day at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
but there was nothing to be seen.
But that's good though. You've got to keep doing it.
My children still do sometimes mention the faraway children.
Yeah.
It has come up a couple of times. Edith got scared the other day because she heard some. I didn't hear it. She said she heard a clicking, like someone clicking their fingers.
Okay.
I said, I didn't hear anything. She said, oh no, it was like clicking. You know when you click your fingers, Daddy? I said, yeah, well, could be anything.
It could be, yeah.
But there we go.
Well, that's good. I appreciate that. Thank you, Bill.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever bought on eBay, Bill?
Leopard skin thong. What, was it haunted?
Oh, it was made from an actual leopard.
And your balls would just sit either side. Well, that comes with age, my friend.
I think you probably had it on backwards, Bill.
Might be.
Was it quite saggy at the back? Yeah. Well, there we go. Bill, I think it's time for us to get out of the world of the strange. Can you please put that away and get us out of here?
Take us away.
That's all the time we've got for this week on World of the Strange. Next week, though, gimme Ira. Hairless pets. Weird.
Who's it from?
It doesn't say.
You found him.
Chucky's my friend till the end. Hey, wanna play? Can't we sleep in with you tonight?
It's only a storm. Good night, baby. Sweet dreams.
Don't forget Chucky.
It's a doll. What's the worst that can happen, huh?
It's time to play.
Curse of Chucky from 2013, rated 18, only for the adults, no children allowed, 1 hour 37 minutes. After her mother's mysterious death, Nika begins to suspect that Chucky may be the key to recent bloodshed and chaos.
Ooh,
chaos.
That was a bit ASMR there, and I got a bit. Ooh.
I should do that. I'd be quite good. Yeah, that is this film. I'm a fan of it. It's only a 5.6 out of 10 on IMDb. Again, written and directed by Don Mancini.
Yeah, he really wanted to return the franchise to its horror roots and does a bloody good job, in my opinion.
I agree.
This film in the franchise gets praised as having the best cinematography and Best Production.
It's got a nice feel to it. It's like the atmosphere. It's got a nice feel.
Yeah, they've got a really good location. It's just one house.
Yeah.
For the most part. There's a great idea of a woman in a wheelchair, much like the movie we covered years ago, lady in a cage. A woman in a wheelchair. So when the power goes out, she can't get up and down in the lift.
Very much like Lady in a Cage, yeah.
And Chucky, it's a very small cast. You know, Chucky's taken out sort of half a dozen people, and that's it, really. It's simple, and especially after the seed of Chucky, it really strips it back to just Chucky on his own, killing a very small group of people in one location. We don't get all these crazy cameos and jokes, and there are some funny things in it. The other really amazing thing they do in this movie, and the one that comes after this, is Brad Dourif's daughter, Fiona Dourif, is in this as Nika. Who
is very good.
She is great in this.
Good actress. Pretty lady.
Yeah.
I think she's great.
Yeah, she's really good.
What sort of stuff is she up to? I'm going to have a little nose.
Yeah, have a look. They shot this in 30 days. It's very small, but really well done. And again, the budget really has gone on the effects, really. The kills are good in this one, really good. But Chucky looks fantastic in this one.
She was in the Chucky TV series. I don't know how many episodes though.
Yeah, there's 2 seasons of that so far.
By the way, it's not on Paramount, I checked. So you have to buy it, unfortunately.
Now, what this film does is a sneaky little... It also attaches itself halfway through. You realise this film is part of the earlier films. It does loop it back around quite nicely when someone discovers that they are the illegitimate daughter of Charles Lee Ray.
Sorry to interrupt, but it got to be that they must have, after a couple of years, whatever, they looked back at seeing Chucky and been like, what the fuck were we doing? We were just flying via cocaine and money or something. Or I don't know what.
I don't know.
And then just go, right, we need to do something more serious. And another fact, it is literally one I'm a sucker for one location, but when it comes down to it, it's going to be more cost effective to make a film set in one location. You don't have to keep moving the fucking crew around. It's there. You don't have so many setup, or not how many, but you don't have to change the location for the setups all the time. And it works so much better, and geography is so much easier. You don't straight away you take out of your head having to worry about where am I, where's going on, what's up, where are we? We know it's really simple, so it's just a great way of doing a film and taking it back to roots of horror. This is what horror is. It's a horror movie. This is. The other movie is a horror comedy, which is fine. Got no problem with that. But yeah, this is back to form, like you say.
Don Mancini said, and a bit of a diss to Seed, he said, Curse of Chucky was the first horror film I directed. So he's completely glazing over Seed.
Good.
Because he considers that a comedy, really.
Yeah, so he's on with us.
And they also make reference to Andy Barclay in this, the Kincaids, and a few other people as well. So, yeah, they do tie this in, but not in a forced way. And it doesn't really, it's not the driving element of the plot, really. The plot is more about what's going on in this house, really. And it's great, and it works really, really well. Yep. And spoiler, we always go spoilers, Chucky wins in this one.
Chucky wins. Okay.
Little bastard. So yeah, should we dive in?
Just get straight in, man. Let's just slip ourselves straight in.
I mean, did you not know? That's the worst, isn't it? Apologies to any micro penis listeners out there. Is it in yet?
Discovered recently, and I've got a micro bum.
Oh, what does that mean?
Same as a micro penis. I've got a really tiddly tiny bottom.
You have?
I have. Ben has one as well, my DP.
I've never really thought about that, but yeah, you do have a very small butt. I have got quite a large bottom, but not in a fat way, just in a sort of
rounded,
very sort of Nicki Minaj butt I've got. My wife's always commenting on it.
And the reason I say Ben has as well, it's not like I look at Ben's arse, it's just he's actually...
You can.
No, because his jeans are always falling down, like mine were always falling down. And
yours are always
falling down. And he actually let me know the idea. It's like, It's because I haven't got a butt, so it just falls down. I was like, that's exactly me. So we're both like micro butts.
Whereas my jeans never slip past my butt because my butt is like a shelf. I could put a pint glass on mine and walk around with it.
Did I tell you what he's doing at the moment?
With his butt?
No, he's on tour with Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, okay.
He's tattooing. He's
amazing.
With a 200 crew, Kendrick Lamar. He's currently he's off to Rome. He's in Europe at the moment, and if he does well, he might go on to Germany. He did it all over England. So he's there. And so when the crew want tattoos, they just call pop us in. He does them a tattoo. So
amazing.
It's fucking incredible.
How funny.
Yeah. He just said, I'm basically going on tour with Kendrick Lamar. I just sent us a message. Okay. It's not something you hear every day. All right.
Not really, no. Have you ever been on tour with anybody famous?
No. And I sent him a message. He said, I'm off to Rome. And I said, well, go see Dario Argento's museum, Profondo Rosso. So I typed it into my maps, found the location, shared it to him, and he's like, that's 5 minutes from the stadium. Brilliant.
Is the museum called Profondo Rosso?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. I want to go there.
I've never been to Rome.
Yeah, I've not been to Rome. I wouldn't mind going, actually.
Yeah, I'd love to go. Well, that's another reason to go, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
anyway, back to
there
this.
we go, little tangent. Back to Curse of Chucky. So
this is basically a lady, she's the mum and the daughter, live in this big kind of spooky sort of house. It does seem quite a big house for these two people, especially as the lady is in a wheelchair, Fiona, Nika. And the mum's presumably a carer as such, but that's not what in any way saying. Nika seems to be, I don't know what her condition is, but she does, she is in a wheelchair, she's paralysed. But paralysed people can adapt to life very easily and live by themselves.
Well, we find out that the reason she's in the wheelchair is because when she was in the womb, Charles Lee Ray stabbed her mother in the stomach.
Thank you. This is why I need you.
Severed one of her bits of her spinal column, I guess, or something.
Yeah, I presume something like that. Yeah, my second brain. We do find this later on, don't we? So that's her situation. And presumably her mum's there looking after her, I guess. Mum doesn't seem to have a job. There's no mention of that because mum's not in it for too long, to be fair.
No, and there is a package at the door. And we know in these movies when there's a big package at the door, it's usually going to be a Chucky doll.
Yeah.
And the man, I love this scene because the guy's like, as we've said, Fiona Dourif, Nika is quite hot. And the guy, like the Amazon delivery driver, he's like, oh, hi.
He's like, all right, you're all right, aren't you?
And she's like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
and he looks at her wheelchair and he carries on and he's like, do you live on your own? She's like, no, I live with my mum. And he's like, oh, is she home? Because, I could come in if you want.
Fuck. He's literally
he wants to deliver his package.
You're kind of hot, aren't you? Yeah, wheelchair's no problem. Can I come in and bang you? Is that okay? He's like, haven't you got deliveries? Well, I have got a delivery and you're going to get it in a moment. No, my mum is home, she says.
Yeah. And Nika takes the package in and says, oh, I think that guy was flirting with me.
Her mum's like,
no, he wasn't.
You don't know what you're talking about. Mum was eavesdropping, listening. So that straight away, though, this film is way better than Seed of Chucky because straight away we know very easily, without too much pressure or forcedness, that the mother is a slightly, possibly overbearing or overprotective of her daughter, which is nothing wrong with that. It's we all love our children, so that's a fine thing to do. Not a fine thing, but a fair thing to do. But that's where we see that very easily and quickly that is laid out, which is good writing and good filmmaking.
Yeah. And they open up this Chucky doll.
Well, they open up the package and it's a Chucky doll. They don't open up the Chucky doll.
And what is this? I don't know what it is. And she sort of squeezes it and it says, hi, I'm Chucky. Want to play? And her mum's like, oh, I don't know who sent this, but let's put it straight in the bin. He's always getting put in the bin, these dolls, aren't they?
Every
in the bin with it.
movie, just Chucky in the bin. It's like,
Chucky.
Sure, with the Chuckle Brothers. Surely you just take it to a charity shop because that's a bit of a fucking wasteful. It's like, well, that's just going for landfill now. That's just silly. But It's nighttime, Daniel.
And that night,
spookiness happens at nighttime. I like here we get an outside exterior shot of a big creepy house and screaming going on.
What I feel what I feel they do with this location, whenever you see it from outside,
that's good.
With the thunder and lightning on this house, they've almost recreated a live action version of that first Child's Play poster. If you remember rightly, it's just a house.
It's the apartment block.
Big house, yeah. And it's almost like they've recreated that. Or it's a bit like the Bates Motel house as well. It's kind of got that vibe to it, hasn't it? It's great.
Yeah.
And it's just these, whenever they show an established shot of the outside of the house, very well done, Don Mancini, very well done. Look, we're loving this film now. We're loving this.
I'm going to check. Exactly. I'm going to check out the director of photography and see what else that person has done.
But like you say, we hear a scream in the middle of the night, and Nika can't find her mummy. She's looking around the house, and she's in a wheelchair, Nika, and she sees a puddle of blood on the floor that's growing. It's coming out of her mum. So this puddle of blood is her mum's, and a cool shot. Talking of photography, Gav, we see as the puddle of blood sort of grows bigger and bigger, you see Nika's reflection in it, looking at her dead mum. And she calls 911, and
I'm presuming the director of photography just got better with time, to be honest with you, because he also shot Seed of Chucky. He shot Ginger Snaps Back, the beginning.
Not very good.
He did an episode of Hannibal, So not a huge amount, but he did do quite a few. Joyride 3. Nothing great, but this is shot very well.
A third one of those.
Yeah, I don't know, but this is a well shot movie.
It is, and then we get our title, The Curse of Chucky, and we get a lovely creepy score, and the police arrive and they take the mother's body away, and then later on, Nika's sister shows up with her husband and daughter.
Now,
so Nika's niece.
So we get more people turning up because they're there to support. Now, this film, just chucking out an overall umbrella, looking at this film again, just another thing that this movie does outside of the story, what we talk about immediately right now, is it doesn't show Chucky like fucking Jaws does. It doesn't show Chucky at all doing any killing, really, for a very long time. Chucky himself doesn't present himself to anyone else in the house for a very long time. So we really have the movie I said last time we should have been like a murder mystery set in a fucking film studio. With this, again, should be this, where Chucky's not doing it, and the tension in between, and is the girl whose mother just died, traumatic, in shock, she's thinking of dolls moving around, and all that sort of stuff. It really works well as a claustrophobic thing inside this building, and it just works as a great build up as well to something else. And it's just not showing Chucky just works. Especially because we do see Chucky, but they all just think he's a doll. And yeah, so for us, we know we watching a Chucky movie. As soon as you go into it, we know what's going on. Like you said, as soon as that package turns up, we know that Chucky's coming out and he's killing people because we've come to a fucking cinema to watch a Chucky movie. So we know as the audience, they don't know. And the fun thing for us as the audience, they don't know, so we're watching them discover it. Obviously, in the other movie, it's all meta and all fucking craziness. So, it's... I don't know. But this brings tension to this film so much more, because we're like, oh, don't look behind you, sort of thing. So Mika's sister, Barb, turns up with her husband, Ian, and their daughter, Alice, and a priest, Father Frank, because they're still quite religious, and Mika isn't. And he's like, well, I'm here to talk if you want. She's like, well, I'm not religious. I don't need to talk to you. Mum's dead, and that's that. And they sort of talk about this. It was quite strange that this, possibly, it doesn't come across. It fits in fairly well because they do say, oh, do you want to stay for dinner? So it keeps him there. It could come across slightly forced having it. I guess not really, actually, because he's just there to say, I'm really sorry. I suppose actually not. And he remembers them from when they were children. He's been there. He has a horrible death. Yeah, he does. and they can't blame Chucky on that, but we'll get to it. It's really good. It's really well made. And Barb says, do you want to pray?
and says even if she killed herself, which we suspect she did, Mum could still potentially go to heaven. And the priest's like, yeah, it's fine. We accept suicides now in the church. So they sort of have this very loose conversation around it. And we also have another lady called Jill, who is an au pair. And there's a great plot twist here because it's normally the husband who's having an affair with the au pair or the nanny. But in this movie, it's the mum who's having a gay affair with the nanny, which is a brilliant plot twist. Yeah. No one saw coming the first time I saw this.
We don't see this till a little bit later on, and because as it goes along, I'd forgotten this. As it goes along, straight away I'm like, well, the nanny's hot. The reason, well, we know why she's hot because her dad's gone and said, we'll take this one, and I assumed that was it because I couldn't remember. And then I was like, oh no, later on we get to the mum kissing, later on we get to it, kissing her in the kitchen. It's like, oh shit, but spoiler, we're jumping ahead.
Now, the little girl Alice said, I need to use the bathroom, so she goes off to the bathroom and she finds in the shower the Chucky doll.
Which, straight away, Nika's just like, in the bathroom, and it's just very quick, it's just in passing. Where Nika's paranoia starts to go here of like, how did that doll get in the bathroom? Because obviously she's the only one in the house. She's in a wheelchair. She hasn't. Why would she go put the fucking Chucky doll in the bath? So straight away that gives her like, what the fuck? Which is done very gently.
Now we should say that Chucky doesn't look like he normally does. He's all cleaned up and looks very like a good guy doll. Cute little Cabbage Patch doll type thing. And Alice falls in love with him, and because she's just lost her grandma, they're like, let her keep the doll, it's fine, it's a sign, it's just a doll, it's all good, let her keep it. So she's hugging him like, he's my little friend, I love him, he's so nice.
I don't understand Nika's problem here with selling the house, but her sister's saying you should sell the house, and it's like, yeah, it's quite decrepit. There's bits where there's fucking water leaking in rooms, dripping in, because that causes a death later on, very Final Destination style, and it's a lift which could possibly cut out if there's power cuts and shit. But she's like, no, I'm staying here. Why? That seems
because it's a family home, I guess.
But come on, just get with it. Like, you're not in the position because, like, again, if you're in a lift and the power goes out, you're fucking stuck there forever. Like, what? It's just crazy.
But I think it's because Barb, her sister, wants the money so that she can run away with Jill, because later on they discuss running away.
Yeah, but surely I can understand that though. If you're like in equal inheritance, you both own a house, and if you're not living there, it's like, well, what am I getting out of this? So I can understand that.
And there's a great little moment here again for us as the audience where when they finally convince everybody to let Alice keep the doll, the dad Ian just says, come on, what's the worst that could happen? And we're
classic line.
So it's good. Nika makes some dinner. No?
To her sister's surprise, what, you can cook for 6 people? What? And she's like, yeah. It's like, what the fuck? She's only in a wheelchair. What do you think? Why can't she cook? Obviously, the kitchen's going to be to a point lower so she can cook stuff because it's probably been a bit more. So I was just a bit surprised that it's. I don't know if it seemed lazy writing there, because it's like the sister wouldn't. The sister would know.
Well, they haven't seen each other much, and they're sort of they don't like each other. I don't think so.
Now,
but
I love
Alice helps with the cooking. The little girl helps with the cooking, and you're probably going to talk about seeing the little hands.
I love that. I love the fact that we're still not seeing Chucky, but we know it's Chucky, but we're just seeing it's not a POV, but we're just seeing like a hand putting something into
rat poison
into into one part of the food, and not all of the meals. It seems to be a bowl.
Yeah, because the food is served up into 6 bowls.
It's chili, yeah.
And Chucky, I guess Chucky was planning on putting rat poison in all of the bowls, but he only managed to do one.
Maybe he got interrupted.
Yeah. So, they all come in then, don't they? They all come in to eat.
This, when you're writing this script, I know you didn't write it when you were writing this script.
When I was writing this script, Gav.
When it's being written, I would love the fact of coming up with ideas for how to do this and being like, oh, well, next thing would be sitting at dinner. Then what would be that? Well, I could get Chucky poison. That's perfect. Then, all of a sudden, you've turned this movie into suspense, fucking flooding with suspense, bloody gushing with suspense. It's a gusher, and it's just like there's one bowl of poison, there's 6 people. There's
and we
one
as an
in
audience
6
don't know
chance.
who's got it.
It's the deer hunter sitting there with a gun pointing at your head, and the suspense is perfect because as it goes round, different members of the family have an issue. Right? The girl goes, and straight away, as an audience, we're like, oh no! And everyone looks at her, and she's like, oh, I didn't like that bit. And like, oh, okay. And everybody has like a little thing. You're like, oh, is it them? It's great.
It's great. It's basically Russian roulette with a chili.
It's murder mystery.
And they're all sat around. We don't know who it's going to be. Agatha Christie, basically. And
this movie is essentially a murder mystery in a spooky house, but the killer is a serial killer inhabiting a doll. Sold. Ticket sold. I'm in.
Gab's nipples just went hard.
Bing! Like really big and long.
Now, they're all eating this food, like you say, and they start discussing the doll a little bit, and there's some backstory where they say, oh, I remember those dolls. They were all over the place in the 80s, those good guys. Yeah, they were. Yeah, and the priest says, I seem to remember something about them in the news, and he can't quite remember what it was.
It's funny, because if it had been like he said that earlier, and Chucky's like, oh, I'm going to bump him off, that would kind of make sense, because we just do discover that the father is the one that has the bowl of chili. But it's almost like, Chucky's like, yeah, that's great, because he started remembering about something which was basically me and death surrounding me.
People.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, you're right. The priest starts dripping with sweat, and he's very clearly not well, and it's because he's ingested quite a lot of rat poison. So he's like, I need to leave. I think I need to leave now.
And just before this, you're cutting to close-ups on all the mouths as they eat it. This is, if I was writing this scene myself, this is what I would do. So I give this a total thumbs up to this whole scene. It's great.
Very, very weird tangent, Gav. But talking of mouths eating close up, I'm reminded of The Substance. Did you notice that the girl from The Substance was in Happy Gilmore 2?
Yep.
Cool.
I got Charlie on Sunday, sat and watched The Substance. Saturday or Sunday. I think I went swimming or doing something else, and I was like, "Oh, I'll leave you to it. Nice, enjoy." And I said, "Do you enjoy it?" I said, "Yeah, it's all right." Okay.
Yeah. Best horror film in 25 years. So
the father's like, I've got to be going. Like, are you sure? And it's like, yep, I've got to go. I'm so apologise, because he's leaving halfway through a meal, but he's sweating a bit, so they presume they could probably go like, oh, he must be a bit poorly. But I would probably insist, though, if I had a guest there and they started like that happened, I'd be like, no, we need to get you sorted out. Let's take you to a bathroom, because there's obviously something happening here. So I probably wouldn't let him go home to drive, to be honest with you.
We cut immediately to the scene of a terrible car crash.
Now, this is great, because no way, not that anybody's going to think a fucking doll done this, but there's no way until they give an autopsy. I don't know if they would, because it's kind of obvious.
Which they do later on.
They probably you have to have autopsies anyway, don't you? I think.
Well, this is how it all gets tied back to Nico later, because they find the rat poison in the system.
Right. Okay.
But the car crash is the priest's car, and just a random poor guy who's dead on the road. He's flown out of his windscreen.
And I think Chucky, because Chucky obviously wasn't staring at which bowl it was. I think Chucky kind of knew, obviously, because he starts sweating the leaves, because Chucky is watching out the window as he drives away.
Yeah.
We see that.
That's really cool. And it's just a little tiny shot of him. But yeah, so one of the drivers is dead, and a cop turns up and he says, I know this father, I know this priest. And he's like, oh, he's not dead, he's still alive. Oh, really? Yeah, but we don't know how long he'll be alive for. There's lots of blood coming out of him, and we don't know where it's coming from. And it's just like Mel Gibson's wife in Signs. He's been pinned across the throat by a piece of metal. And the cop insists, come on, take it off of him, take it off of him. And as soon as they do that, his head falls off. So basically that metal was keeping his head on.
It's a really well made scene. It's kind of very much like the Signs scene when Mel Gibson goes to his wife. So like then they go over and this one cop's just like, what are you doing? Take it, it's a father, come on, I know him. Like, pull the car. Everybody, come on, pull the car. And they're like, we don't think we should do that. Pull the car away. And like you say, pulls the car away. And that's the thing which was kept his head to the spine connected and pulled it away, and it boom, drops. It's quite a like, whoa, shit, that's quite a full-on scene, and it's so much more better made than fucking Teen Chucky.
So that's 2 deaths now from Chucky in this movie already.
But
good work.
Nobody in any way thinks that Chucky has done it. Nobody thinks a doll or some weird thing out of play is going on at the moment. These are just unfortunate circumstances and situations, coinkydinks of people dying. So it's great. It's really well made.
Cut to another one of many establishing shots of the house. It's now raining. It looks looking very spooky. And the family are all home watching home movies from their childhood in front of the TV.
What is it? Why is the nanny even there? She doesn't. Well, I know why, because the mum's insisting. But when it comes down to it, I'd be like, well, can't we just look after the kid? We're sitting here doing nothing. Like, can't we look after our own child?
The mummy has got her there because she's drinking from the furry cup.
They are fingering each other.
Scissor sisters. So they discuss family times a little bit, and they talk about how Nika and Barb's dad drowned before Nika was even born. And then we, as an audience, recognise somebody in the video, Charles Lee Ray. What's he doing in a family home movie? Who's that guy? I don't know. Was he a neighbour? Maybe he was one of the neighbours. I don't know. And they'll come back to that later on. So
I missed this, you know.
They're sowing a little bit of the seed into this. Alice comes into the room and says, I can't find Chucky anywhere. Can somebody help me find him? Well, where did you leave him? Well, I don't know. I didn't lose him. He's hiding. He likes to play hide and seek. And Jill, the au pair, says, I'll go and find him. Fuck that. If I was in a spooky house like this and somebody said, go and find a doll that's hiding, I'd be like, no, I'm all right. I'll just sit here with my scissor sister, thanks.
Yeah, but you don't actually think a doll's going to come to life and kill you. I know you would, but I would be like, I'll go find a doll. It's fine. It'd be quite fun. Take a torch with you, you know. I'll tell you what, the other day I was playing VR Paranormal Activity. I've got that, the game.
Jesus Christ, I wouldn't play it.
Because it doesn't faze me at all. I just walk around the house and talk to come on, fucking come on, you cunts, fucking get me, come on. That's what I'm like with it. And I was watching it with Elijah, and a little girl was there all of a sudden. Elijah screamed, and he didn't even have the VR headset. He was watching on TV. But it's a bit like what you're doing here. You walk around the house, spooky house, thunder and lightning. But it's like you're actually walking around the house, you know. I would do that. It's fun. It's next time you're around. Bang it on, have a go.
So they also, whilst Jill goes off to find Chucky, they realise, dun dun dun, the phone lines are down. Yes. Yeah. We love it. We love it when this happens. So Jill's searching for Chucky. She does find a lot of other spooky dolls in this house.
Just want to knock on the door now, and it's the Chuckle Brothers.
Hiya, we've come to clean your windows.
We've come to fix the electricity.
What, at midnight in the rain? Yeah.
And then they take on Chucky.
And really, they're paranormal investigators. It's all a guise. It's all a guise.
I can't wait to see this movie. Those two as paranormal activities, and they discover Chucky, and then it turns into a fucking verse. Is fucking well good.
Don't cross the streams. Well, to me, to you. He slimed me.
American and Canadian and any other part of the world listeners, please, you don't have to go on YouTube and look up Chuckle Brothers. You can do, but you're not going to be rewarded in any sense from it.
Anyway, Jill finds lots of other dolls that are quite spooky, but she can't find Chucky. She goes off to the bathroom. We get the classic sort of shower curtain blowing. And there's a nice jump scare there where the window sort of slams and she shuts the window to stop the wind from coming in. She goes into the kitchen and Barbara's in there. And this is where it's revealed. They have a big French kiss. And it's like, oh my God, they're the ones having the affair because they've been planting false seeds because the dad keeps saying things like, I don't know why we're paying her $200 a week to look after our kid. And he says things, it also later on transpires he already knew about the affair as well, which is cool. So you could go back and watch this again and know these things.
It's a nice
it's quite layered.
And it's a nice switcheroo having the mum Like,
totally.
It's really well made. In fact, that he knows as well is really good because later on he says, "I planted he plants a camera in Chucky doll." So later on he's just all of a sudden like, "Yeah, I'm going to watch this." All of a sudden it's like, "Hang on, why is the doll running around slashing up people?"
Yeah, it's quite spooky when you hear him talk in the...
It's great. I love the fact that the idea is put a camera on him to catch his wife cheating, and it's on the Chucky doll. It's fucking brilliant. It really is.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It is great. Well, Nika is wheeling around in her chair, and she finds Chucky, but Chucky is sat next to Ian, who's fallen asleep on the sofa.
And she goes, "Oh, you found him?" And he wakes up and he's like, yeah. Because he didn't find him. He fell asleep and Dalton was just there.
Chucky says a few of his classic lines.
He said, he starts off with, "Life is short. I like to be hugged. Hi, I'm Chucky."
And when he says that one, the dad's like, that's the classic line. That's the best line. I love that one when he says that one. Nika goes off to give him back to Alice, and she gets in the lift. But the lift breaks down because of this lightning, this electrical storm. Power is in and out in the house. That's why the phone lines are down.
So that's why you don't live in the house and sell it.
So she's now trapped in a lift with a Chucky doll in the dark.
Kissing going on, and she's ringing a bell going out, and the mum, the sister's just a bit like, "Oh, for God's sake, she's so demanding." It's like, she's stuck in a lift. She's in a wheelchair. Like, give her a hand. Like, no.
And the lift starts up again. Just as Chucky doll goes, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah. And
I sounded like that kid from The Simpsons then, I don't know why.
Her sister is also, like, this is another reason her sister's like, "You need to sell this place because your heart is not in a good condition as well." So there's probably more than just paralysed.
She's got a really bad heart as well.
And it absolutely makes sense. And I think Nika's just been fucking stubborn to be like, "No, I'm not selling the house, staying here." It's just silly.
They give the doll back to Alice, who's over the moon. Yay, my friend's here. Barb thinks that Nika is overexhausted and says, "Look, your heart, like you said, Gav, your heart is bad. Have you taken your medication today?"
Yeah, so she is actually looking out for her. That's the thing. It's almost trying to come across because she's almost cast. The way that it's coming across that she's cheating on her husband as well. It's almost, and the way she's cast a little bit. Not saying that this actress looks like a bitch, but it comes across more like they're depicting her from the get-go as a bit of a bitch, money-grabbing bitch, cheats on her husband, etc. But at the end of the day, she is trying to look out for her sister, I think. I think there is actually some, that there.
And Chucky has a knife concealed on him, which we'll find out later on, because...
Is that a knife in your pants?
Oh, or are you just... I don't know.
Slappy to see me.
Because whilst Nika was in the lift, she got cut on the leg and her leg's bleeding quite badly. But because she's paralysed from the waist down, she can't feel it.
Yeah, and she didn't know it happened, but it's because Chucky was in the lift and just like, "Oh, do you imagine Chucky's like, I bet she can't fucking feel this. I'm going to give it, no, you can't feel it. That's hilarious." Chucky having a laugh to himself.
So she goes off to patch her leg up and they say goodnight to Alice. Now, while Mummy's in with Alice...
That also gave her sister another reason to say, "Look, for fuck's sake, you're just bleeding, you don't know how it happened. That can't... You need, to be somewhere else."
Alice says, "Well, it's just like my doll always says, life's a bitch and then you die. Chucky says there's no God, And she's like, "What? Where are you getting this from?" She's like, Chucky says all this stuff to me. Chucky says we're all going to die someday.
Yeah.
And the mum's like, "Okay, this is a bit weird."
This is like 45 minutes into the movie, and we're at the halfway point. But we have, as the audience members, have not actually seen Chucky move really either. Like,
no, just seen his little hand here or there, and that's it.
And it's really good. Now, Chucky, the little girl goes to bed with Chucky, and it's under the covers with her. And there's this look that this Chucky... particularly, it's like the Jasons and the Michaels, the different masks each time, the different films, and the Chucky's always had different looks as well at times. That kind of look that Chucky has, where he's slightly down looking upwards, is fucking terrifying. I was just like, shit.
There's no animatronics. It's just
a doll looking under the covers as well. So they're both under the covers, and the way that the doll's just looking at her is so creepy. It's miles above that last movie.
Now, the phone lines come back on a little bit. So Nika decides, because she's very suspicious about what's going on here, she decides to call the post office and try and find out where this package came from. And the line's really bad and breaking up. And all she can just about hear is it came from an evidence locker. That was where the parcel that was delivered to them came from. She doesn't know any more than that.
Just before this happened, when Chucky was under the covers with the girl says, because she's under the covers of Chucky, because she's got a thunderstorm, she's like, me and you, Chucky, we go under there like a kid would. She goes to Chucky, I'm scared. And that, he stared at her the whole time. He then says, you fucking should be. And it cuts. That is 45 minutes. That's the first time we have seen that happen, and this girl has now realised that this doll is alive, and it cuts at that point then, and I was like, oh my god, this film fucking kicks ass.
Yeah, because saying that to a little child...
And then it cuts though, so you don't know what happened is genius editing, because that little girl would have been like, fuck. And you're like, does Chucky pounce on her? Like, it's such a good... You fucking should be. So good.
So now Nika speaks to Jill and says, look, I found out where the dolls come from. It's been sent from an evidence locker, which is really weird. And Jill's like, whatever. She goes off and she strips off for bed.
Of course she does.
Into her bra and pants. But that's because she's about to do a cheeky little Skype night-night to
I guess.
her lover in the other room.
You think, why don't you just meet up again, I suppose? Because he's asleep.
But it's the thrill of the affair, isn't it?
I guess.
Because Ian's asleep in the bed. Get this. Ian's asleep in the bed and his wife, Barb, is next to him on her laptop getting cheeky little lingerie videos from the woman in the next room.
Sex videos of each other, like, you know, sexting or whatever.
You were hoping.
Yeah.
You were hoping. Meanwhile, downstairs, Nika is Googling the good guy doll, and she suddenly finds a list of news stories about murders. She sees Andy Barclay, she sees what happened to him at the military camp, all these sort of stories from over the last few films.
Which, apart from fucking Seed of Chucky, they cut that one out, didn't they?
Nothing about Red Man in there.
I got here, suspense build-up, and I think I'm supposed to put suspense build-up everywhere, and it changed it to suspense build-up underwear. I haven't got any suspense build-up underwear, but it's something I'm going to shop for from now on.
Look out, don't buy a haunted bra by mistake.
Suspense build-up underwear.
Now, whilst Jill is Skyping Barb says, oh, I think Alice is awake, because I've just seen somebody move behind you.
No. This is fucking good. Just before I do this, it's really good humour, actually. And I was thinking, and I didn't see this in a cinema, but I can imagine at Fright Fest, for example, or American audiences, I know, do it as well, very interactive and louder and sort of just laugh and clap along, and Fright Fest do that as well. I can imagine here's the point when they're looking at each other and they're not really saying anything, and the mum's kind of pointing the camera behind her, so I fucking love it. It's such an easy, silly joke. The person that she's having the affair with, the nanny, just looks back and points back at hers in like a cute thing. Oh, there you go. And she's like, no, you fucking twat, behind you. I think the girl's still up, you know, the kid. But it's not, because she saw Chucky move slightly. And I was like, does Chucky know that what's going on? Does he probably doesn't even know that it's a video camera, do you know what I mean? He's probably done, so he's just walking around the back, and all of a sudden she's like, what the fuck is that? And it's so well done.
Well, he creeps under Jill's bed while she's still on the laptop.
Really good.
And then he kicks over a bucket of water that's been collecting the leak from the roof.
He does come out, and she looks around and sees him, and he's doing that stare again where his head's down looking up like he was, and again it's like, you're not even moving, and it's so creepy. Then just with his little foot kicks this bucket over, because the house drips. Sell the fucking house. Which
of course means
Final Destination.
Jill gets electrocuted, burned up pretty bad, and falls down. The power goes out a little bit in the house, and they just assume it's because of the electrical storm. And meanwhile downstairs again, Nika sees Charles Lee Ray linked to these Chucky murders. Yeah, she recognises him from the home movie that they saw earlier. So she's starting to piece things together now. Chucky then sneaks out onto the landing. Barbara tries to imply that Ian... Oh, you obviously like Jill.
We don't know what happened with the kid. And Chucky saying, you fucking should be. We don't... We didn't know you cut.
We find out through the nanny cam later on that she's just been chatting to him, because as a kid with your imagination, you just talk to a doll that talks to you.
I guess after that scene cut, because it seemed like it might have been setting up for Chucky to pounce on her and kill her, I guess it would have been a case of then you fucking should be, then her going, Chucky, that's rude. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably did that, yeah. All right.
So like I say, we get this little argument now where Ian sort of starts to... Barbara tries to imply that Ian has got the hots for Jill, and he flips it and says, actually, I think it's you. In fact, I know it's you that's got the hots for her. Why else would you be paying her $200 a month? And she's like, how dare you say this sort of thing to me and imply this? And he's like, well, I put a camera in the doll, so we'll find out, won't we? And she's like, what? Why would you do that? And he's like, well, because I wanted to find out the truth, Barb. So Barbara... she can't find Alice anywhere, but she does find Chucky. And we get some really great, very John Carpenter's The Thing music. I don't know if you noticed this.
God, yeah. It was basically, the director's like, right, can you just listen to Ennio Morricone's The Thing and just do that? And it is literally, someone's gone, okay, dun, dun, dun. But at no point do I go, oh, God, for fuck's sake. I'm like, yeah, all right, bring it. The scores are okay in this.
Now, Nika finds Alice with the doll, and because she's looked up what this doll is and what it can do, she says, put the doll down. Please put it down. But they sort of argue over the doll, and that's because Barb thinks that Nika knows that there's a camera in it, and she's like, you're on his side. Why would you be on his side? She's like, what are you talking about? And she doesn't know that they're arguing. So Nika thinks she needs the doll got rid of because it's a killer. And Barb thinks we need the doll got rid of because it's got a nanny cam in it and may well have videoed me getting it on with Jill.
Yeah.
So there's this whole argument. And then the Alice storms off. Nika's trapped downstairs. So she thinks, well, I've got to get upstairs to help everybody out here. So she gets out of her wheelchair and she starts to drag herself slowly up the stairs.
Sell the house, get a fucking one floored fucking
get a bungalow.
Building. Jesus Christ.
Barbara's still searching for her daughter Alice. She goes up into the attic. She finds Chucky with a knife on him. She puts the knife down. Chucky picks the knife up. And Barbara then says, hang on a minute, there's something strange with this doll's face. And she takes a little bit of his face off and then a bit more of his face off and realises
rubber off, yeah.
It's the stitched up version of Chucky.
It's got
and
all
he's disguised himself.
Scarred. It's quite funny. I love the fact though, Nika is downstairs and to the point where she's been looking at the internet so much that she thinks a doll has come to life that she will crawl up the staircase to get rid of the doll. Is a little bit full on, isn't it?
But don't forget, she did see Charles Lee Ray in a family home movie, so she does think there is a reason for this.
I suppose if you're looking up at a doll which is a serial killer and then that serial killer, okay, yeah, you could probably go, this is fucking weird as fuck, but I actually think this. Yeah, okay, all right, I'm with you.
Now, while she's peeling the fake face off of Chucky to reveal his true stitched up face, there is a fantastic jump scare here.
Rocking that horse.
He tries to bite her. He just goes like that.
All right.
Then he puts a knife to her throat and he says to her, Alice is mine. The girl is mine. And he stabs her in the face.
Yeah, stabs her in the eye.
That's right. Because Nika's now crawling up the stairs as fast as she can.
And what rolls down to her?
A nice little juicy eyeball. Rolls down to her. And she's like, what the fuck? And then she looks up and she sees her sister, barely alive with one eye, who then collapses down the stairs on top of her.
But then a great shot from the stairs looking upwards from Nika kind of laid down or low perspective of the camera looking up at the top of the stairs in silhouette. Chucky just walks into frame and stands there and it's like, yeah, this is the first time. And she's like, this is where she goes, oh my God, this doll is real. And I'm paralysed on a fucking staircase, and there's a fucking killer doll just up there.
And he says, Nika. He walks down slowly towards her.
So she manages to get back down, doesn't she? Or she gets off at the floor. I don't know where she gets.
She grabs her. She's got a wheelchair on every floor, so she grabs another wheelchair.
Right.
And she zips off in that.
She finds.
Zips off.
You go on.
No, go on.
I was going to say, she finds the guy and wakes him up to say, like, oh, fucking, everyone's dead. He's just been asleep in bed. Or whatever. And he's like, what? What do you mean everyone's dead? What weird... You wake up, you'd be like, what the fuck are you on, woman? Like, what do you mean everyone's dead?
He's literally just had an argument with his wife because he knows she's having an affair with the nanny. Then he fell about to sleep. Now he's like, now you're telling me everyone's dead. But they do go in and find Jill's burnt body from being electrocuted. So he picks up Nika. But yeah, a nice slow motion, very strange choice, but it works. Shot of him walking down the stairs with Nika.
There's great cinematography in this, really is. The cinematographer got a lot better from the last time, that's for sure.
He puts her into her wheelchair and he says, right, let's search for Alice. And while they're searching... Chucky hides. Chucky's hiding. And he says, Nika, I'm going to put you in the garage with the car. You stay in here where it's safe, and I'll go and try and find Alice. And whatever you do... And Nika says, whatever you do, stay away from that doll, Ian. And Ian's like, what is going on with this family? What have I married into? But while she's in the garage, Chucky starts up the car. And the fumes start overpowering Nika, and she's sort of passing out. So she grabs an axe, she smashes the car window, she tries to take the keys, but Chucky swallows the car keys, and Ian bursts back in the room. He's like, what's going on? Why is the car started? Why is the window smashed? Oh my god, Nika, you're trying to kill yourself. Oh my god. So Chucky's slowly making it look like that Nika is mad and maybe potentially killed everyone and wants to kill herself.
Well, essentially, this is unfortunately what the result of the film is, where they think that she's done it, because it does go back to that realisticness of the film having a doll as a killer. Do people believe in doll killed people? So it's something you can always get away with in these movies. Like previous ones, when it was what's the kid called?
Andy.
That's funny. That's so funny, isn't it? Because Toy Story.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing, isn't it?
I guess.
That's the joke that they make.
Yeah, but like where they start thinking Andy's involved later on in the other films and stuff like that, you know. So it is ultimately something which is something you can't really get away from and just go, yeah, a doll did it. Okay, just gonna write this in my police report.
Talking of toys, the character Barb is named after Barbie in this, so they did a little nod there as well.
See, the guy who was touring around with Annabelle recently died of a heart attack.
I did, yeah. That's nuts.
I think he probably just died of a heart attack.
My kids love Annabelle because there's a shop in the centre of Bristol that sells all the memorabilia, and every time I take them out to the soft play near there, we go past that shop and they go, look, there's Chucky, there's Annabelle, there's Pokemon. They sort of name all the characters, but they don't know who Annabelle is because she looks quite intriguing to them.
You're going to have great fun as they get older and they get confused. I remember it was Elijah. Was it Elijah? I think it was Elijah or Daisy, I'm not sure. You used to get Michael Jackson and Michael Myers mixed up. I loved it. Like the serial killer Michael Jackson, yeah, that's it.
They both got very pale white faces. So, my son is now not a fan of Darth Vader because we've been watching all of the Star Wars films, all 9 of them. Then we watched the Han Solo movie. Then we're currently watching Rogue One, and there's that scene where Darth Vader's coming down the corridor, just taking people out, killing them. And he's like, turn it off. Darth Vader's a bit too scary for me now. So at the moment, he's off Darth. He loves Darth Vader normally, but now he's not a fan at the moment.
Just watch the shit you grew up on, the first 3. Just do that.
I mean, he's watched them all, but...
just do those.
Anyway, Nika's heart starts acting up and she starts passing out. She says, I need my adrenaline shot.
See, this movie so much more crafted. Stakes are intensely high at this point here. It's been bad as it is already, but another layer, the stakes are high where she needs an injection, she needs an EpiPen or whatever the fuck it is to get her back going. And the brother-in-law?
Ian, yeah, her brother-in-law Ian.
Is just kind of standing there going, but I think you fucking just killed all these people. Like, I don't think I want to give you the EpiPen. And it's quite a scene again. It's like, wow, the suspense is so heightened. It's great.
She wakes up later in her wheelchair, tied up.
So she didn't die, she passed out.
And he puts tape on her mouth.
And says, where is my daughter? Because he thinks that she's obviously put the kid somewhere and she's fucking lost it.
So he says, I'll tell you what I'll do. Let's watch the nanny cam footage.
This is the bit that she's like, oh, see, fucking cheating bitch. I knew she they're both fucking dead, so it doesn't matter now, but fucking cheating bitch. Then Chucky just gets up and walks off. So he'd be like, what's going on? Why is the doll moving? She'd be like, I told you.
Well, he sees Jill, he sees himself asleep. Obviously, it's all being recorded via Chucky. And then he sees Alice talking to the doll, and he's so shocked because at this point, he says, he sees his daughter saying, Chucky, are you always my friend? He's like, yeah, bitch, shut the fuck up.
He says, just keep your fucking mouth shut. That's so well good.
It's so good. And he's like, what the hell? And then it cuts to live feed. And it's great, because
it cuts
it's behind
to
them.
Scream 2. No, Scream 3.
And it's behind them.
No, Scream 2.
Chucky's behind them.
Yeah.
He pushes the wheelchair.
Scream 1.
He pushes the wheelchair that Nika's in, which knocks Ian over, and Chucky walks into the room with an axe. And we've not seen this before. He chops Ian's jaw off. He chops down into his mouth. So the bottom of his jaw is chopped off. Wow. And then he turns around and he goes, your turn, Nika.
But the wheelchair stops the axe because for whatever reason just...
No, it's her leg. It goes into
does
her
he chop
leg.
her leg? Oh, fuck.
And she says to him, is that supposed to hurt? Because I can't feel anything from the waist down.
It's going to do. If it hits your thigh, you're going to bleed out and die in like 10 minutes.
Well, of course, she's bleeding quite heavily, but she doesn't feel it. That's the main thing. So she manages
to knock Chucky's head off.
She knocks his head clean off. And she goes off to put bandages on her legs. Brilliant, this now. While she's there bandaging her leg up, the headless corpse of Chucky sort of stands up behind her, walks over to the head, puts it on backwards, and then it spins around and looks at her like the Exorcist, and it's back. And this time he pushes her wheelchair right over the banister, all the way down onto the floor.
Push through it, yeah.
And there's blood coming out of her leg. She's rolling around in her own blood. But she's still alive, just about. And he reveals to her that he gives the whole backstory now. After her dad drowned, he basically got chummy with her mum. He was obsessed with her. But being Charles Lee Ray and being a serial killer, and she didn't love him, he tied her up, brought her flowers, and tried to pretend he was the dad of the family. He said, I'm going to go pick up Barb from school soon. Meanwhile, she's pregnant with Nika, obviously. And then he hears sirens coming outside Charles Lee Ray, and he says, you bitch, you called the cops. Nobody fucking leaves me. And he puts the knife to her pregnant stomach. And obviously, they don't show it. But outside of the house, we hear a scream. And yeah,
so
it turns out he stabbed her. And
so essentially, she's like, you got the cops on me. He's like, you got the cops on me in his own way. Like, it's her reason he's dead is because of her mum.
Yeah, because he's
got vengeance still for this. This is why he's still like, right, that's it. I'm going to get that fucking daughter, I guess. Yeah,
because he then runs off into the toy shop right from the beginning of the first movie, and obviously dies and puts his spirit into the doll. So that is the whole like tie into Child's Play 1.
So it's almost, I know it sort of does flash back to the other films, but you probably don't need to even know that. You could probably watch the original Child's Play and then watch this film.
Yeah, it's almost like an H20, Halloween H20.
Yeah, I would say it's very much trying to do that sort of thing, yeah.
So it turns out it was all revenge on Nika and Barb's mum, and then he starts listing all the other families that he's killed off, including and then he says, you know what, you kind of remind me of Andy Barclay. He was a whiny little bitch too, which is a great line.
And she says, he says, what are you waiting for, God, or something. That's really weird. and then the electric turns on. So, is that God?
Well,
it's really weird.
She says, well, you've got something called completion anxiety there, Chucky, where you can't quite finish, if you know what I mean. So she kind of makes it sexual to get under his skin. And she says, you've waited all this time. You're the slowest serial killer ever. You've waited 20-odd years to come back and get me. What are you waiting for? A sign from God?
Okay, yeah.
And then she says that, and then, the power turns back on.
So is God the letting the power back on? That's what it's referring to, slightly. It's a bit weird. But anyway.
She crawls into the lift, and she's dripping with blood, obviously. He gets close to the lift, but he slips on the blood that she's pouring out of her leg. He manages to slice her fingers. It looks very painful through the bars of the lift. They have a bit of a tussle. She stabs him in the back, and the cops arrive. And they walk in to find Nika screaming in the lift. She's covered in blood. There's dead bodies all over the house. She's holding a knife. And there's a Chucky doll just sitting in the corner grinning. So to them, they're thinking, well, this girl in a wheelchair is clearly turned into a maniac and has slaughtered her entire family after her mother's death.
Yeah.
So she's locked up in an asylum for the criminally insane. She's in court, and they're presenting all the evidence. And this rat poison proves that she poisoned the priest and killed him. Here's all the knives and various instruments that they were all killed with. And then they say, right, well, looks like you're going to be locked up for life. And as she is wheeled out of the courtroom, she turns around in front of all the public and says to the Chucky doll, I'm still alive, Chucky. I'm still a fucking alive. Ha ha. Clearly making herself look even more mad than they think she is. But the cop has got a bit of a hunch that something's not quite right here. The cop from earlier who knew the priest. So he takes the Chucky doll off in his car.
Well, it's not because he takes the doll because he's got a hunch. He's been paid to take the doll by a certain party we will discover in a moment.
That's right. He gets in his car with the Chucky doll in the evidence bag.
Makes a phone call.
I've got what you asked for. It's here in the bag next to me. And then he sees the bag breathing. He thinks, what the fuck? And then Jennifer Tilly jumps up behind him and cuts his throat. And she says, who's next?
I really dislike this. Why? Is this now pushing us back to the movie just before?
Have you seen the next one?
I don't think I've seen it.
Okay. Yeah, it leads all into that.
But it just seemed really, really forced to throw. Jennifer Tilly, who's came into it later on, is known for Chucky and stuff. But it's a bit like, hang on, you had this so good from the first and going to that. I think it spoils it. Really does.
I agree with you. We could have done without this.
You don't need fucking Jennifer Tilly and her big tits just turning up. It's not needed.
I mean, you always do, but... so Jennifer Tilly then is in a post office sending a parcel. And obviously she's sending this parcel, which is a Chucky doll, and she sends it to Alice.
So who was the cop speaking to?
Jennifer Tilly, I guess.
How?
I don't know.
He would have been like, hang on, I can hear you in the car.
You're behind me.
I rang your phone and I can hear it ringing behind me. It's really, take this scene out.
Well, then we see little Alice, who's now living with her other grandma who hasn't been killed by Chucky.
Do you know what you do with that scene? The cop gets in the car, makes the phone call, pulls out, drives away, end. That's all you got to do.
And the little girl gets home and is saying, Grandma, where are you? And then she sees a package and it's Chucky, you found me. She opens it and she says, do you know where Grandma is? She's in the basement. Don't worry about it. Obviously she's dead. And he says, I come here to play hide the soul with you.
Not hide the sausage. Thank God.
Thank God. And she says, you always want to play hide the soul with me. And he's like, yeah, let's play it. This time we're going to finish the game. And he starts to chant. And then we get a random jump scare of the grandma with a plastic bag on her face, right up at the camera. He suffocated her in the basement.
There's too forced, this ending.
Chucky wins. It does lose a point for the ending.
It really does. Take Jennifer, just cut it. Then the cop goes out. That's how I'm going to think this movie. The cop goes, "I've got the doll." Reverses out, drives away. Movie ends.
I've given this film a 6 out of 10, which is great. It would have, however, if it had taken the Jennifer Tilly stuff out of it and it was just a standalone Chucky movie that had some loose ties, this probably would have got a 7 out of 10, which is quite high.
Yeah.
But I do have to shave off the last 10 minutes to drop it a point.
I'm amazed that you're with me on that. It seems so like, what the fuck? Why do we need her in it? Like, come on.
But it does all tie into the follow-up, which we'll be covering at some point in the future.
I look forward to that because I don't think I've seen it for whatever reason.
And
I just missed it.
And that's got Fiona Dourif in a mental home, and Chucky doll trying to get her, but there's multiple Chuckies in it. So, yeah, we'll be covering that in the future. But look, I do still give this a thumbs up because, and you'll agree with me on this, it is a return to real horror.
It's a return
suspense.
To form. Absolutely.
The first 2 Chucky movies and even the third one were quite scary films. The fourth one was a comedy. The fifth one, fuck knows what Seed was. This one takes it right back to those horror roots. And I love it for that. And I love the whole idea of the girl in the wheelchair and in this house, and she's trapped in this one place, and there's only 5 or 6 cast members. Yeah, it's just a shame about Jennifer Tilly turning up at the end.
Great movie. Definitely recommend. I like the poster for the 7th. Well, I don't really like the poster for the 7th one, but I like the fact that they've got Chucky real close up holding a knife slightly at an angle, and they got some white text at the top. So actually, if you look, because I'm short-sighted and I ain't got my glasses on, it's a 7.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Very good.
Sneaky.
I didn't think about that.
It's amazing being short-sighted sometimes, the stuff that you can work out and go, oh, yeah.
So, yeah, we'll wrap up the Chucky franchise in the future with Cult of Chucky and the remake, Child's Play.
Yeah, so that's next, is it? And that'll be wrap up. I will I'll try my best to get a hold of the TV show. I occasionally see it for sale, and I occasionally thought of picking it up. I'll see if I can get and watch it before we do that, so I've watched it as well to give you my feedback.
I believe there's 2 seasons of it. They may still be continuing to make it. I'm not sure because it's quite recent.
I don't know.
But there we go. But yeah, definitely a thumbs up. This one is leaps and bounds ahead of Seed, which is definitely the worst in the franchise, in my opinion, and your opinion as well.
Yeah, this is.
But there we go.
These are polar opposite films. I would say check it out, even if you're like, I'm not even done. I've only seen the first Child's Play, whatever. Yeah, fucking jump on this. It's all right.
I saw this one on the Horror Channel years ago. They had they were like, we've got
Love film
exclusive. Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it on the Horror Channel. It was just like exclusive premiere of that, and it'd only been out for a year. And I was like, oh, cool. I haven't seen it, and I was riveted, loved it.
It's a good film.
Yeah. So there we go. So he's an icon in horror. He's Chucky. He wants to play. But
like Bill Murray.
Let's go away now and come back for a little bit of an outro.
Let's do it. And we're back again. Thanks very much.
Goodbye and thank you.
Goodbye and thank you. Thank you so much for coming along and listening to us. If you got this far, well done. Congratulations. And do check out that latter film. Possibly not the first one we covered.
So that was episode 181.
181 is not a score you can get in darts.
So let's talk about what's coming up next.
Tell me, man. Rub it all over me like butter.
P. Diddy's.
Like butter.
Anyway. We haven't mentioned P. Diddy this whole episode, thankfully.
P. Diddy's not news now. The news now is fucking Trump going, I was not on the Jeffrey Epstein list. There's no list. It's nonsense. And that's what's going on now.
Did you see him cheating at golf? Talking of Happy Gilmore too.
No, I can't. The thing is, every day I open, because what I've kind of done now, I've got rid of a lot of social media. I'm not even really doing. I've deleted Facebook off my phone at the moment. I'm not really looking at most things, but I like to do YouTube YouTube, and I like to just see the different news outlets, what their videos on, occasionally watch stuff. But it's just Trump continuously, everything. It's not my algorithm. He's just all over the fucking news because that's what he loves. So what's he done? Is he cheating at golf? He's Scotland,
he's in
isn't
the
it?
UK, in Scotland at the moment, playing golf. And there's a video of him pulling up in the golf cart to take a shot, and his ball's in the rough, in the sand, I think. But his caddy gets out ahead of him and just sneakily drops a little ball just
Did they
behind
see
him.
it?
And it's videoed. Yeah, everyone's videoed it and saying he's cheating. And he's like, "Oh, I'm not cheating at golf. What are you talking about?" But you see the caddy drop the ball.
Of course he is. You know... And so it's a witch hunt. Are you saying I'm cheating at golf? It's a witch hunt. I tell you what, Obama cheated at golf. He's the first one to cheat at golf, not me. It's a witch hunt. They're lies. It's all lies. And it's fucking everything he says is nonsense. It's hilarious.
But it did make me think of Happy Gilmore when I saw it. I thought, well, that's hilarious. But coming up next, episode 182 is a patron. And it's Sheila, our newest patron, and her first pick. It's her first pick. So it's a nice little landmark for her.
Oh, Sheila. I'm trying to do that sort of Australian thing there. Sheila.
Yeah. It's a very Australian name, but she is American. But Sheila has picked, as mentioned previously, she's picked The Ninth Gate from 1999.
Shit, that means I'm watching it this weekend with Sarah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one, that one. And The Pope's Exorcist from 2023.
Yeah.
So that'll be really, really cool to cover those two. After that, episode 183 is wrapping up the summer with a summer blockbuster special. A couple of movies by Roland Emmerich. Godzilla from 1998, which you and I both really like.
97.
98.
Oh, was it? Oh, I'm wrong, sorry.
And earlier than that, Independence Day from 1996.
Sweet.
So he had a couple of good money-making blockbusters for the summer. He was the king of the summer blockbuster.
When Will Smith was still likeable.
Yeah, and Jeff Goldblum's in that one too, and a few other people. So, yeah, Independence Day and Godzilla from Roland Emmerich.
Oh,
and then
after
that, as the summer comes to an end and the leaves start to turn a bit browner and the cooler weather comes in, to get us in the mood for spooky season, episode 184 is going to be Ghost Watch from 1992.
That's so cool.
And Late Night with the Devil from 2023.
That's a good old double bill, I'll tell you.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be all about real life. I say real life, almost found footage type shenanigans.
Yeah, we can talk about a few notable found footage movies as we go.
Yeah. Well, we like our found footage. And I guess Late Night with the Devil is found footage. And I guess Ghost Watch is as well. They really are, really, aren't they? They're just sort of...
the fans class them as it, yeah.
Yeah. So, and Ghost Watch is one that I know a lot of our listeners on Facebook and a lot of our Facebook followers have really been excited for us to cover at some point.
Yeah.
So that'll be really cool. And it's strange because it's really gone worldwide over the last sort of 10 years.
Because
as people have discovered it.
It's generally quite not terrifying, but at the time, if you'd never seen it, it was just like, I don't know. We're not getting to now because it's a whole fucking thing. But I remember watching it live on Halloween, and I was fucking gutted. My friend went, "Turn it off. I don't want to watch it." It's like, you fucking wuss. And
So
I had
you
to
were
turn it
15
off. So I
when it
missed
came
it
out?
because I couldn't record it, and this was before the internet. So I was 15, right? Yeah. So I was watching it on Halloween night. When I was 15, my mate was like, "No, turn it off," and I was like, "Oh,
Everybody at school was
sake.
talking about it the next day.
Yeah, I didn't fucking know what happened until years later.
Well, it's available to stream on Prime now.
What a fucking worse.
So that's what's coming up in our next 3 episodes. We've got Sheila's patrons picks, we've got Godzilla and Independence Day, and we've got Ghost Watch and Late Night with the Devil. So some good stuff.
I remember being in San Francisco with him. We were a load of us with a load of us skaters and some Norwegian skaters and some other English skaters we'd met, and we were all just like fucking hanging. We heard there's a party down in North Beach or something, or somewhere on the beach, kegs, like proper, one of those sort of parties.
Yeah.
About to get on the bus, and we're just trying to get on we get on the bus, and turn around, he's just standing there, and he was too scared to get on the bus, so he went back to the hotel room. We're like, okay. we went and partied on the beach, but the keg was empty. I was gutted.
Huh.
Anyway, that was that.
There we go.
He was scared a lot.
Sounds like me. So, thank you everybody for listening and supporting and all the other things you do. We have been the podcast on Haunted Hill. We are a proud member of Legion Podcast Network. We'll be coming up to another landmark this Christmas, but we'll get to that. We're getting ahead of ourselves. And you can find out more about Legion on legionpodcast.com. All the other shows on the network are on there, and all of their old episodes, including all of our entire back catalogue, is on there as well. We're also a proud member of Deadbolt Media. I'll come right back around to that in a moment. If you want to contact us, you can email us. Our email address is thepodcastonhauntedhill@outlook.com. If you've got anything you want to say, ask, or anything really, send, just do it. That's our email address.
Send nudes.
There we go. Gav wants nudes. We're also on Facebook, which is probably where we're most active. Our Facebook page is easy to find. It's just the podcast on Haunted Hill. And Legion are also on Facebook. Again, it's Legion Podcasts. Just go there and search for either of those. Join those communities. Join in with us. Join us. Wherever you're listening to us now is where you can always continue to listen to us. We're on Podbean, Podknife, YouTube, Spotify, and all the other podcast platforms, really. We have an Instagram handle, which is the podcast on Haunted Hill Insta, or one word. We use that to promote our episodes as they drop, with a link to the episodes. Deadbolt Films is our production company. Deadbolt Media we're part of. You can go to deadboltfilms.com to find out all about the movies that we've made, the shorts, the features, the comics, if you're into that type of thing.
Sexy comics.
This podcast and
non-sexy comics.
Non-sexy comics. And this podcast and the other podcast that Gav also does.
The High Strangeness podcast with the lovely Sarah, where we speak spooky and weird. And we just did an audio episode, which was quite fun to do, which took a lot of fucking editing. I've got to tell you that. It was fucking chore.
I normally listen to most podcasts at 1.5, 1.7, 1.8. But with that one, excuse me, I listened to it at the normal speed because I wanted to hear all the sounds, and actually got really spooked by that howling thing in the woods. That was fucking scary. I played it to my wife. She was like, "What was it?" And I said, "I don't fucking know." That's the point. The guy's just mushroom picking.
Yeah,
and then he hears something scream.
Yeah.
And also the guy having a conversation with himself while he was asleep.
That's creepy. What are you? Then another language. What are you? Blah, 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 blah. Weird.
Yeah,
but it's good. Check that episode out. It's quite a fun one.
So go to deadboltfilms.com for all of that: films, shorts, comics, podcasts. We're on Instagram, Deadbolt Films, and there's a YouTube channel. Go to YouTube and just search Deadbolt Films. You can see all of the stuff that's all available on there to watch. And finally, we're also part of Patreon. So if you wish to become a patron supporter and give us £1 or $1 a month, or as much as you want, it all helps keep the show going. We use the money to buy equipment, keep things ticking over, website costs, renting and buying films that we need for this show to review for you guys. You don't have to do it, but if you do it, there are some perks, and those perks are you'll get to be a patron pick. Every 3 episodes, one of our patrons tells us 2 films that they want us to review, just like Sheila on the next episode. You also get a t-shirt sent out to you in one of 3 colours, in the size of your choice, wherever you live in the world, the whole wide world.
We do need to get some blacks done, I think.
Yeah, we've got grey, blue and white. Blacks would be good. And you also get your name shouted out at the end of the episode, which we'll do in a minute. And also you get access to all of our shows through Patreon and any additional content and bonus content we've done, including those videos you mentioned earlier in this episode of us running around at midnight on Halloween and me shitting my pants.
Yeah, and there's a couple of videos of me checking out VHS tapes and some other bits and bobs like that, little things.
Yeah. A little bit of bonus content on there. I think I reviewed Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the entire series once.
Yeah, I've got a few short solo podcasts on there, and there's also a lot of my DJ mixes on there of like horror stuff, which is quite fun.
Yeah. So there you go. So do that. Go to Patreon, search for the podcast on Haunted Hill, or you can email me. Again, it's the podcast on Haunted Hill @outlook.com. And I want to thank all of our patrons for their support.
Yes, thank you very much.
So thank you very much to Sheila, who will be our next patron.
Thank you.
Thank you as well to Dante.
Thank you.
Don Collier.
Thank you.
Matthew Godley.
Thank you.
Jamie Jenkins.
Thank you.
Kevin S5.
Thank you.
Sarah Kay.
Thank you.
Rachel.
Thank you.
RJ McCready.
Thank you.
And Lex Boo.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thanks
just
so
like
much.
Gav said. Really appreciate all your support and everybody for listening, sharing, liking.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yes, please like and share us. If you want to share us around, we are shareable.
Ooh. Well, that's it, Gav. That is the episode in the can.
In the
all
can.
Wrapped up.
Yep.
So it's time for us to say goodnight.
You definitely got it's good night from Chucky, that's for sure. And you definitely gonna have to look under the bed for any creepy Chuckies, you know.
Yeah. It's a good night from Jennifer Tilly.
It's a good night from this one, and it's a good night from that one.
Oh, it's a good night from Redman, who replaced Quentin Tarantino.
It's a good night from Mr. Man. And it's a good night from Dan.
And it's a good night from Mr. Gav, man.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Stay safe. And don't forget, we'll be your friends to the end.
Hi-de-ho.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
Thank you for listening to the podcast on Haunted Hill. We will be back again real soon.